Chapter 24. The Politician. Hogwarts hit by Muggle missile. Yesterday morning, on the 5th of November, a Muggle weapon known as a missile hit and destroyed the Hogwarts astronomy tower. There have been no reported casualties, however the cost in damages are staggering. When we spoke to the minister, he had this to say. Our auras have found evidence the Muggle weapon was indeed a missile. The weapon was not intentionally aimed at Hogwarts. Since the castle is under a powerful, notice-me-not charm, Muggles would not have realized they were testing their weapon in a populated area. There has been no break in the statute of secrecy. However, I will be holding a conference at Hogwarts to discuss the issue further. We live in dangerous time. Muggles are getting more powerful and dangerous. We cannot interfere with them, however we cannot simply ignore the problem. It is time the wizarding world understands what we are up against. I don't like the sound of this, Harry sighed as he handed the Daily Prophet back to Luna. A missile. There was more than one explosion. It was bombs. Luna shouted, getting looks from around the Great Hall. Luna, most of them don't even know what a bomb is, let alone a missile, Harry groaned. The Muggleborns are outnumbered, whatever the minister's going to say. Harry was interrupted by the sound of applause as the minister stepped into the Great Hall. He was followed by reporters, auras, and other ministry officials. The parents of many students were already in the Great Hall, making sure their kids were safe, and of course to hear the minister's speech. The minister stood up on the podium to face the sea of faces. He raised his wand to his throat as his voice echoed throughout the room. Ladies and gentlemen, witches and wizards, fellow Britishmen, good morning. Shacklebolt was applauded as he continued. It has been 6 months since the war has ended. Instead of being weak and divided, the United Kingdom has never been stronger. After more cheers, the minister spoke. The castle has been rebuilt, the ministry cleaned out you-know-who's supporters, and has become a democracy, with the Wisengamot becoming more like the Muggles' parliament. I cannot take the credit, for I could not have done it without the wizards and witches of England. You assigned me to fix things, but it was you who did my job. I owe you, I applaud and bow to you, my countrymen. As Royal bowed, the room erupted in applause. When he spoke again, his voice was more solemn. The castle has been rebuilt, but already is in ruins against time by accident. Once again we will rebuild, but how many more times must we rebuild our school? I have been met with nothing but resistance since placing auras at Hogwarts. Yet without them, this school would have burned to the ground. This is a place for children, not destruction. We cannot tolerate this any further. How many more children must we lose to ignorance? The Dark Lord's followers were ignorant of the Muggles. So are we. Kingsley paused before he whispered above the crowd. For years the ministry has kept you all in the dark, but no more. I am the minister now, and I am a minister appointed by the people, for the people. I did not run for the office. The people demanded, and I succumbed to their demands. I carry this burden for you, so now I must be the bearer of bad news. Confusion spread across the crowd as the minister waved his wand, showing an image. This is a bomb. It is a Muggle-made device that can destroy buildings and kill hundreds. The crowd gasped as the minister changed the image. This is a missile, a bomb that can travel great distances to hit a target. A missile can miss its target and hit another, like Hogwarts. The Muggles have no idea what they did, nor will they ever find out. Luckily, no one was killed. How did the missile get through Hogwarts wards? Luna shouted over the crowd, but the minister ignored her and showed the next image. My fellow Englishmen, this is an atom bomb. This bomb has incredible power. During the global wizarding war, Muggles dropped 2 atom bombs, and each bomb destroyed a city. They destroyed both Muggle cities, wiping them off the face of the earth. I don't mean wizard cities either, which has a couple thousand people. I'm talking over 100,000. This bomb was the most powerful ever used in war, but now Muggles have bombs even more powerful. They have thousands of these bombs. The dark truth is that Muggles have become more powerful than we can ever hope to achieve. The Muggles have the power to destroy us all. The crowd burst into panic, causing the headmistress to cast a silencing spell on the room. It took over 5 minutes before the crowd calmed enough for her to lift the spell. "Thank you, Minerva," Kingsley said calmly before continuing. "Unlike most ministers, I am not a politician. I am an aura, a soldier. It is my duty to protect my fellow people. You are safe. It is the future that I fear. More and more Muggle-born are pushing for us to reconnect with the Muggle people. I believe we must separate from them further. We cannot fight them. We cannot stop them. We cannot help them. We cannot save them from themselves. We must certainly not give them magic." The minister scoffed. "Even if such lunacy was possible, it would result in our destruction. Muggles are scared, superstitious people who burned us at the stake. They chased us with fire and pitchforks. Many of our kind died horrible deaths at their hands. Muggles are still cruel. They are destroying the earth. They fight wars over their religions. They kill those they do not understand. A few hundred years ago, Muggles enslaved each other. Many are still mistreated for no other reason than the color of their skin. My color, to be precise. These are the people we trust with magic, with our existence. It's not like wizards are anything like that, Royal. It's not like we just fought a war against wizards who killed over supposed blood statutes." Luna again yelled, and was again ignored. "Of course not all Muggles are bad," Kingsley stated. "In fact, most are wonderful, ordinary people like you. They're our fellow countrymen. Many of the students here are the children of Muggles. Your current headmistress had a Muggle father. The late, great Albus Dumbledore had a Muggle mother. However, some Muggles are evil. Some Muggle-born and Muggle-raised grow up in abusive homes. Many of their parents fear our magic. Some even react violently to their magical children. In order to protect those children, and in order to further enforce our statutes of secrecy, I am putting forth the Muggle Relations Act. Muggles with Muggle-born children will be observed to see if they are deserving parents of our children. I am confident most are. Once they are deemed worthy, we tell the parent about our world and the child's part in it. The child should not learn until they are of the age of 10, since we know how kids talk." The minister grinned as the audience chuckled. "However, for parents who are deemed unworthy shall be obliviated, and their children raised in our world, by our kind. If the parent has done anything criminal, then they will be charged accordingly." Audience erupted in more pandemonium, with many for and against the new policy. This time it was the minister who regained the attention of the people. "Silence! Are you not Englishmen? This is a democracy, we debate. We do not act like bloody savages." As the audience was silenced, the minister chuckled. "Told you I wasn't a politician." The mob laughed, while the minster turned his back to the audience in deep thought. He needed to sway the crowd, but he did have an ace up his sleeve. "Something bad is going to happen," Luna whispered to Harry, who nodded. "Royal knows it too." Kingsley turned around, and for the briefest moment, he met Harry's eye with sympathy. Then he spoke. "To show you why this law is so important, I am going to tell you an example of a Muggle-raised child who could have benefited from this law. He was raised in a town called Little Winging." "Don't you dare!" Harry shouted as he rose from his seat. He succeeded in getting the minister's attention, along with the entire Great Hall. "I'm sorry, Mr. Potter, I really am, but it's for the best," Kingsley answered. "It's none of their goddamn business," Harry yelled as he stormed up to the minister. The auras raised their wands at Harry, only for Kingsley to order them lowered. Kingsley cast a quick muffalo before speaking to Harry. "You want this law passed or not, Potter?" "I can stop children from being harmed," Kingsley whispered sharply. "But where does it end, Royal? You push this fear of Muggles on wizards, and they will demand that all Muggle-borns be raised by wizards," Harry argued. "Then so be it," Kingsley snarled. "I have no problem with Muggles, but if they were to discover our secret, they would panic and kill us all. We belong separated from them, Potter. Now excuse me, I have a speech to finish, or maybe you would like to tell them about your family life." "It would be better coming from you." Harry was shocked at the minister's words. "Kingsley, we fought together. You were my friend. If that meant anything to you, then please don't tell them," Harry begged. Kingsley sighed, his eyes tired and weary. If you knew me better, you would be no friend of mine. Shacklebolt quickly removed his privacy spell and turned, facing the crowd. If you want to know what muggles are capable of, one should look no farther than your savior, Harry Potter. He was raised by relatives who starved him, worked him like a slave, beat him, and for the first 11 years of his life, he lived in a cupboard under the stairs. That was as far as he got before the minister was floored by a right hand. The room was frozen in shock as they saw a livid Harry Potter scream at Kingsley as Phileas and Luna held him back from delivering more blows. "You bastard! You bastard!" The great hall was completely consumed by chaos. The auras snapped back from their shock and sent over 20 stunners at Harry. Luna quickly raised her hand and deflected the spells back at the auras. Kingsley rose with his wand, only for Phileas to blast him back with a powerful spell. Phileas and Harry fled the great hall. "Harry, you stupid, stupid boy, you just punched the Minister of Magic in the bloody face. What was it like?" "You just hit him with a blasting curse, you tell me," Harry countered. Phileas laughed like dueling "I'm alive again." Luna ran up to meet them in a panic. "The students. They have all gone mad." They returned to the great hall and saw the students were rioting. Chairs and tables were overturned, while swollen faces and bloody nose filled the room. Hermione was standing horrified in the corner, while Ron was among the rioters, poorly fighting 3 Slytherin students. All the tension and anger from the last few weeks had erupted. "Why are you fighting?" Luna hummed sadly, her voice filling the great hall. They all stopped and looked up her. Luna just shook her head. "It's people like you who make me loony. I don't want to hurt anybody, but you people can't help yourselves. Why do you fight? Is it because he is a mudblood, or she a pureblood? Is it because you are in different houses? Your houses mean nothing. You are fighting for nothing. You think your houses are your families. What kinds of family steals, bullies, and excludes members for being different? Ravenclaw has been a very poor family to me. I once had a family, but then I lost it. I turned to you for help, and you turned against me. I only wanted a friend, and you just laughed at me." Everyone watched in shock as Luna started to shake with emotion. Harry tried to calm her, but years of torment was fueling her anger. Every insult, every lonely day, and every stolen possession she cherished. "You know, I think I hate you. You cheer me because I saved you, but you don't really care about me, the words I say, or anything at all. I don't want you. I don't need you anymore. I have a family now. I have a family that loves me, and that is all you ever need. Magic is worthless if you live alone. I should know. I've been alone with magic, and I've been a squib with a family. I'd choose family every time." "Enough!" Kingsley's cry echoed through the great hall. "Everyone, return to your rooms. You 3 shall not leave them until I return. Go now." Harry sat in silence in his room while Luna held him close. She was all that was keeping him from hunting down the minister himself. "He was my friend, Luna. He betrayed me," Harry's voice caught. "I even trusted him with your life, Luna. You mean too much to me, but I trusted him with my life. He spit it out for the world to see, and for what?" "A reaction," Luna hummed calmly. "You were in opposition to his law, so he wanted you to look bad. He got more than he bargained for," Phileas muttered under his breath as he rubbed his tired eyes. "This is only the beginning," Harry said morbidly. "What happened with the astronomy tower was to put the fear of muggles into wizards. Kingsley feels he is doing right, but he said something interesting." Phileas opened his eyes. "What do you mean?" "He told me if I knew him better, I would not be his friend," Harry answered in deep thought. Luna had a thoughtful look to her eyes. "Most curious, what is Royal hiding?" Phileas looked at Luna with tired eyes before he silently left the room. Back at the ministry, the minister forced the door open to the head unspeakable's office. "Hello, minister, how did your speech go today?" a woman's voice asked. "You know damn well how it went. Harry Potter struck me, the minister of magic. If I arrest him, I arrest the savior of the wizarding world. If I don't, then I appear weak." I knew he would react badly, but I did not expect him to have the gall. "I don't need him arrested. I need him detained for questioning, him and the freak." the woman replied. As I recall, the squib reflected a bunch of stunners back at the auras, not to mention the half-breed attacked you as well. He knows too much, so I think he should be silenced, the minister scoffed. Easier said than done. Half-breed or not, Phileas is one of the greatest duelists there ever was. He will not go quietly. That is not my problem, minister. This is your mess, not mine, she muttered. You're the reason for this in the first place, Kingsley snapped back. But you failed to clean it up like I told you to, and now we are facing the consequences. The woman whispered harshly. Now go back and finish the job, and don't forget to bring the guards to seize that freak. Kingsley froze. What if they kill her, or worse? Unfortunate for us, but it's better than her getting away now, the woman said calmly. Kingsley grimaced as he turned to leave the room. He stopped at the door only to say, You know what? You really are the devil. Chapter 25. Home. The problem wasn't what was going to happen, but waiting for it to happen. They knew, of course, what would happen, but it only made the wait worse. Harry and Luna sat in the headmistress' office, while McGonagall waited impatiently for a certain charms professor. Eventually, the doors burst open to reveal the small wizard filling the room with his powerful presence. Minerva, it has been a privilege working for this institution, but I am afraid I must resign from my post. Now, unless you have any other business. As a matter of fact, I do, Phileas. Sit down, the headmistress ordered. Phileas ran to his seat like a little puppy. So I assume I have been fired, Harry said without care. Of course you have been fired. You punched the Minister of Magic, McGonagall exclaimed. Not one of my better moments, Harry admitted. I respectfully disagree, Phileas chuckled. Nevertheless, Phileas, these actions have consequences. You three have been banned from Hogwarts property. I will give the three of you until supper to pack. 3 of us. You mean Luna too, Harry interrupted. She assaulted ministry officials. If I didn't, those stunners would have killed Harry. Remember what 5 did to you, Luna whispered coldly. I am an old woman. Yes, Harry is younger, but 20 stunners would have killed him. What if I get my magic back? Are you expelling me for saving the man I love? Yes, I am, McGonagall shouted. You don't make the rules, Luna. We must accept that there are things we cannot change, and your actions have consequences. This is about my work, isn't it? Do you simply disagree with it, or are you working with the minister? Luna uttered darkly. McGonagall sighed. I am not working with the minister. He is my friend, and I support some of his decisions and disagree with others. Today I disagreed strongly, but what followed was far worse. Worse than treachery, growled Harry. Yes, halting her research won't stop her from achieving her goals, Minerva, Phileas whispered quietly. I would have thought you, of all people, would appreciate her work. I appreciate her work greatly, Phileas. As a half-blood, bringing muggles and wizards together would be a dream come true. My witch mother gave up her magic for her family. She never regretted her choice, but I still see the pain in her eyes when I got my Hogwarts letter. Minerva adjusted her glasses. I'm sorry, I may be the headmistress, but I must follow the rules. I go where Harry goes. Nothing changes for me. I just wanted to know why, Luna whispered before rising to leave with the 2 wizards. The curse lives on then, another defense teacher down, Harry sighed sadly. Hogwarts has been my home for 8 long years. Hogwarts will always be your home, Harry. Harry looked up to see the smiling face of Albus Dumbledore hanging from the wall. Harry, Hogwarts is not just the castle in which we currently reside. It is not just a place of learning, nor is it just a place we prepare for the future. Hogwarts is a place where we find ourselves and where we find each other. Hogwarts is the friends you make, the friends you keep, the love you win, and the love you lose. Hogwarts is in your heart. Hogwarts shall always be with you as long as you hold on to the memories. The girl beside you is your Hogwarts. Stand together, and I promise you both will always have a home. Harry nodded solemnly while he held Luna's hand in a tight but loving grip. I will, sir. Goodbye, Albus. As they were about to leave, Albus called out, Phileas, thank you for all you have done for this school, for these 2, and for both of your races. We all owe you a department. Phileas bowed. It is you who I owe a debt to. Thank you, Albus, for making my retirement more eventful than the rest of my life put together. I shall see you when my wand is laid to rest. Goodbye. And with that, the three left the room, leaving only the headmistress and Dumbledore's portrait. Did I do the right thing, Albus? Albus sighed. There is a difference between what is right and what is easy. What would happen, Albus, if they do succeed? The portrait pondered. I am not certain. As the Muggles say, they are heading into uncharted territory. Should we stop them? Minerva asked nervously. No, I would rather see how this plays out, for nothing easy is found in uncharted territory. It is in the unknown that discoveries are made. Luna was sitting by the lake with Harry, neither breaking the serene silence. In a matter of hours, they would be far from here. They memorized the water that did not dribble, the trees of the forbidden forest that did not fall, the Quidditch pitch enjoyed by all, even the castle and its great hall. They were leaving Hogwarts maybe forever. I remember how happy I was when I first came here. I had recently lost Mom, and I was looking for a new home. I was so scared that I wouldn't be accepted, like I had always been as a squib. I was right. I was so lost, so lonely. I hated it here, and I begged my father to let me go home. He refused, and I was stuck in this glorious prison. Then you and your friends accepted me for me. I made friends, I found love, I fought here, suffered here, I persevered here. Hogwarts is my home. Somewhere along the way, I fell in love with this place. Now I have to leave. Luna sighed. Hogwarts has always been my home. After everything that happened with the Dursleys, Hogwarts became the only home I've ever known, Harry whispered. But Dumbledore's right. It's not about where we are, but who we are with. We will get through this together, Luna. We will finish this, one way or another. Luna hummed sadly. If it weren't for me, then you would still be able to teach here. My dream has crushed your dream. Harry shook his head. Okay, first, I'm the one who punched the Minister of Magic. This is my fault, and I regret it. I just felt so violated. I had given him my loyalty and trust. When he broke it, I just lost it. Second, I have no regrets about you, Luna, Harry stated as he tried to flatten his hair. It hasn't been the same being back here. So many memories, so many deaths. I thought things would go back to the way things were, but I'm not the same anymore. I like the danger, I like the thrill, I love being different. All I ever wanted was to be just Harry. I'm not, though, not anymore. I want to do something big, not because of a prophecy, but because it's something I want. I want to fight for something worth fighting for. Harry took Luna's hand and looked into her silver eyes. You are worth fighting for, and your work is worth fighting for. After the war, I lost my life's purpose. I found it again in you, Luna. Luna gently kissed him before they shared a hug. You still love me, don't you? Of course, Luna. Why would you ask? Harry replied as she let go of him. Luna kicked off her shoes and started walking in the lake. In her ethereal peace, she looked at her reflection. I no longer recognize the face in the water. I have changed so much these past few months, I don't know who I am anymore. I'm not the person you befriended anymore. I'm not the person you kissed on top of the astronomy tower. I'm changing every day. I don't want our feelings to ever change, though. Harry followed her into the shallow water and held her. I know you're changing, Luna. So am I. We all change. I love the things you say, the things you do, the way you look. That's not why I love you, Luna. I fell in love with your soul and spirit. That is something that will never change. Luna smiled genuinely. Who am I, Harry? Harry grinned. You're the one I love, and you are Luna Lovegood. Yes, but who is Luna Lovegood? A riddle I hope I never solve. Harry uttered under his breath as he kissed her with passion. Luna leaned into Harry as he whispered in her ear, You want to dance? Luna giggled. I don't think you'd be very good at my dancing. It's all stuff my dad learned on his travels. No, I mean slow dance. Luna's eyes widened. I don't know how it seems so. She didn't finish her sentence. The idea was so intimate. She was terrified of the word. Do you trust me? Luna nodded as Harry slowly led them knee-deep into the lake. Luna leaned her head against Harry's chest and put her arms around his neck. while Harry wrapped his hands around Luna's waist and leaned his head against the top of hers. It was so simple. They barely moved, but this simple action shut off the world. They forgot all about their worries, fears, pain, their past, and their future. The madness in Luna's head was gone. In that moment, all she knew was Harry and her love for him. "Never let me go," Luna whispered, her voice quivering with emotion. Harry whispered back, "Never, Luna." "Good," Luna hummed before diving into the water, taking Harry with her. When Harry surfaced, it was to the sound of her melodic laughter. How many more times did he have to feel like this? To feel the knife pierce his heart? His unbreakable vow was breaking his back. So many secrets that he could not tell. He wanted to shout. He wanted to scream. The anger and hatred he had to hide. It made him feel sick. The half-goblin stumbled into his trophy room and beheld the hundreds of wands he had won over the years. His greatest accomplishments, his great victories, his humbling defeats, his pride, his glory meant nothing to him now. They had lost their meaning the moment Pandora died. Instead of feeling pride, he felt empty and hollow. Phileas picked up one of the wands and held it between his fingers. It was just a piece of wood, so he snapped the twig in two. He snapped another, then another. Phileas pulled out his own wand and screamed. He smashed wands against the walls. He set them on fire. He destroyed them all but one. Phileas dropped to his knees as he picked up the wand from the floor. He cried in agony. It was Pandora's wand. "Pandora, please help me. Please forgive me. I tried. I swear I tried. I can't let it happen again," he cried out. "Let what happen again?" Phileas jumped as he saw Luna standing in the middle of the room. He then realized too late who was behind her. "Avada Kedavra," Phileas screamed as Luna fell limp to the ground. The killer seemed to vanish as Phileas held Luna's body in his arms, her unseeing eyes staring into his. "Merlin, forgive me," Phileas cried out in unimaginable pain. "No." Phileas looked up to see Pandora standing before him. "You failed my daughter. She is dead because of you." Phileas shook his head as Pandora screamed out, "My daughter is dead because of you. I am dead because of you. No, please, Morgana, have mercy. I tried, I swear I tried, but I could not break the vow. Look at me." Phileas found himself holding not Luna's but Pandora's body. It was Luna who was crying over her. "Why won't she wake? Wake up, Mom. Please wake up. Wake up." Phileas awoke abruptly and fell out of his tall chair. He saw Pandora's wand was still in his hand. "Never thought I'd see the great Sir Flitwick having a nightmare." Ragnar's head teased through the fireplace. "What in Merlin's real name do you want?" Phileas grumbled. "I want to know what happened just now with the minister of." Phileas tuned Ragnar out as his eyes remained fixed upon Pandora's wand. She had left it to him in her will with the condition that he looked after her daughter when she went to Hogwarts. In that moment, he knew what he had to do. "Sir Flitwick, Phileas, are you listening to me?" "Shut up, Ragnar, you waste of goblin skin, I'm thinking." Phileas scolded the insulted goblin. "I'm going to Gringotts immediately. I must be back in 5 minutes, so have a time turner there so I can perform my duties." Ragnar gaped at the half-goblin. "Time turners are illegal for us goblins." "I don't give a flying Grigendruk." Phileas cursed in gobbledygook. "I have used them long enough to know you goblins follow laws like a Cornish pixie follows fairies." Ragnar disappeared from sight as Phileas quickly entered his now destroyed trophy room. Phileas punched a hole through the drywall and took out his most precious of wands. It was pure gold and had the words "True Goblin" engraved on it. It was the first wand Phileas ever owned. He had won it after becoming a champion of dueling, both among wizards and goblins. No other goblin or half-goblin had owned a wand since the failed revolution of 1812. It was more than a wand to Phileas. It was his freedom, his equality, his right of conquest that should have been a right of birth. "I am a goblin," Phileas snarled as his wand took him to Gringotts. "Hermione, you're crushing me," Harry croaked as she gave him a tearful hug. Hermione let go as Ron shook his hand. "Hogwarts won't be the same without you." Harry chuckled. "I was the first Dada professor. Do not try and kill me." Ron shook his head. You punched the minister in a room full of auras, Harry. If that's not attempted murder, I guess some things never change. Harry laughed, punching Ron in the arm. But we will, Hermione's head lowered. We're drifting apart, and not just with you leaving. You're spending more time with Luna. Ron and I are spending more time together. It's, it's not the fabled golden trio anymore, Luna whispered as she finished packing her belongings. Harry felt like he had been kicked in the gut. Was it true? Were they drifting apart? No, no, Hermione. The golden trio may be breaking apart. Harry paused to hold back his tears. But we are more than that. We are a family. We might not see each other as much, but we will never drift apart. I love you both too much to let that happen. I love you both too, Hermione cried, while Ron slowly nodded his head with a sniff. Are you crying, Ron? Luna asked, clearly amused. No, Ron replied hoarsely. Something in my eye. Must be Raxburt's. Luna hummed, causing the trio to start laughing. We love you too, Luna, Hermione chuckled as she pulled Luna into a group hug. Thank you, she replied sincerely. You're the best friends I could have ever asked for. I will miss you too. As they separated, Luna looked at the clock. Time to go. The four flew for the final time into Harry's now barren office. Harry led the way into his former classroom to be greeted by his seventh-year students. They all stood from their desks and raised their wands in the air. To General Potter, the best teacher we ever had, we salute you. Harry smiled before he went into general mode. Soldiers, stand straight. The classroom obeyed as Harry spoke. I may not have made it to the end of a single term, but I hope I was able to teach you well. You are more than my students. You are my friends, my comrades, my fellow soldiers of Dumbledore's army. Now I must leave, but I hope you continue on with Pandora's army. Make the ministry pay for ever stepping their oversized feet into our home. War may very well be coming. Harry continued over the cheers. I don't know what the future holds. I am not a seer. I do know this: you have a choice. You can fight for change, fight for tradition, or you can follow your heart. I was forced to fight my war, but you have free will. If things get bad, you don't have to help me or Luna. You can live your life safely. It is so easy to lose sight of the things that matter in the thick of battle and blood has been shed. It is better to not fight at all, but sometimes something is too important to not fight for. In the end, it comes down to love. Love is the only thing worth fighting for. Fight for hate and you will lose. Hogwarts has been my home for 8 long years, but it is students who make Hogwarts what it is. I will miss every single one of you. Thank you for making this place feel like home. It feels strange leaving home, but Harry looked to the girl by his side and held her hand. I'm not leaving home, not really. Couldn't have said it better myself. The self-proclaimed goblin shouted as he entered the classroom. Phileas, any final words for the class? Harry asked dramatically. Phileas gave an over-the-top smirk. A great wizard once said nitwit, blubber, oddment, tweak. I think these are words we can all live by. Any last words, Luna? Goodbye, Luna hummed. That's it, Phileas moaned. How about this for last words? You're all mindless, stupid. Pigs with smelly breath, your followers are blind, too much humdingers on the mind, ha. Okay, that's much better, thank you, Noggles. Phileas laughed. I really hate those Noggles, Luna moaned. You hate us now, but just you wait, very soon you will decide our fate. Now choose wisely before it's too late. We may annoy, but believe us, we're great. The room was silent from the Noggles' message. It was broken by Phileas. Well, that was most interesting. Yes, it was, Harry said, before getting a good look at the small wizard. Phileas, are you okay? You seem tired. Phileas smiled mischievously. Let's just say it's been a long day. With nothing left to say, the three led the way. The group following them grew bigger and bigger as the three famous exiles were leaving Hogwarts forever. They memorized every corridor, every twist, every turn, every door, every statue, and every portrait they would never see again. Too soon the group made it to Entrance Hall, which held the entire castle population. They were here to witness their final steps in Hogwarts. Hundreds of eyes met Luna's as she felt a sadness come over her. I'm going to miss this place, Luna whispered. I'm not, Phileas countered. I'm not leaving without a fight. The other two stared at Phileas, stunned. What do you mean? The sadness Luna felt grew stronger as she realized it was not an internal but external feeling. Then she felt it. Cold, unnatural, unholy cold. She looked to see Harry and Phileas already had their wands out. Harry, what's going on? Luna asked, already knowing the answer. The great doors burst open as they were greeted by hundreds of Dementors and Auras. Leading the invaders was the Minister of Magic himself. Harry Potter, Luna Lovegood, and Phileas Flitwick, you are under arrest for assaulting the Minister of Magic and Ministry officials. Come quietly and we will go easy on you. Goblins don't go quietly, Royal, they go screaming, Phileas growled viciously. I assumed as much, Kingsley muttered before turning to Harry and Luna. You two don't have to fight. You are wanted for questioning. If you cooperate, you won't even serve time in Azkaban. I doubt we will be going to Azkaban anyway, right, Kingsley Shacklebolt? This is about Luna, isn't it? We go with you to the Ministry, and Luna won't leave. Well, you can't have her, Harry shouted, raising his wand to Kingsley. The Minister just grinned smugly. No harm will come to the squib if she comes quietly. You might need to help her, though she seems to be having trouble. On cue, Luna dropped to the ground and began to shake. Harry immediately was by her side, trying to find out what was wrong. Kingsley raised his wand, and the Dementors drifted towards her. Harry held onto Luna tightly as her spasms worsened, then the screaming began. Chapter 26, Anarchium and Ualpha Iota Alpha Anarchy. She didn't know where she was at first, except it was dark and wet. She slowly clawed at the stone floor as she tried to rise to her feet. It was cold, so cold she could hear the whimpering of another poor soul nearby. He sounded like an old man. He was pleading for mercy, begging for death, but it never came. She rose to her feet and found the poor man lying feebly on the ground. She bent over to help him like she always did. As always, it was futile. She could not help him escape. They were both trapped in this living hell. She could hear Witch's psychotic screams before the door opens. She does not try and escape. She hides in the corner farthest from the door. It matters little. It is her name that is called. Loony, Loony, little lying Loony. Luna slowly approaches the witch that calls her. I'm sorry, Miss Bellatrix, but I have never lied. The sadist struck Luna hard, sending her to the floor. Don't lie to me, little girl. I don't like liars. You told me you were a pure blood, you lied, muggle. Luna tried to run, but Bellatrix struck her with a body bind curse. Again, Luna fell to the hard floor. Rookwood gave me some interesting news. He told me you were born a squib, yet you can do magic. You are the proof the Dark Lord needs. You filthy mudbloods are stealing magic from wizards and witches like us. Bellatrix knelt down beside the paralyzed Luna and grabbed her terrified face. So tell me, little bitty baby, who did you steal this magic from? Was it someone strong, weak? Is this person alive? Was it your mother? Luna felt the curse lift as she was able to answer. Never, I never hurt my mother. Then who was it, girl? Who did you steal the magic from and how? Bellatrix screamed. My mother gave it to me. I don't know how, Luna cried. Bellatrix grinned viciously. Well then, if you find out how, then this will be less painful for you. Luna's eyes widened as the witch conjured a short but razor-sharp knife. You have lied, Luna, and lying is wrong. You must not tell lies. I'm going to make sure the world always knows what you are. Now hold still, girl. Luna struggled to get away, but the witch grabbed her by the hair and dragged her across the room. Bellatrix cut off a chunk of Luna's hair and threw it aside. Bellatrix forced Luna back to the ground and stuck the knife in her face. I wonder what to write first. I know, how about, freak? Bellatrix brought the knife to Luna's pure skin, and the screaming began. Her screams continued as Harry struggled to help the girl he loved. Luna was screaming and convulsing on the floor while the whole room looked on helplessly. Phileas, what's going on? Harry cried out desperately. I'm not sure. I think it's the Dementors, but this is beyond their usual affect. What are you doing to her, you shit? Phileas screamed at the stunned minister. The students and teachers watched on in shock as Luna screamed in her seizure state. Harry and Phileas had cast Patronus charms, but they helped very little. "I don't know," Kingsley yelled in a panic at the appalled looks from those witnessing the horror. "She said Dementors would weaken her, but she said nothing about this." "What's she? Who has you bought?" "What did you do?" Harry shouted at the minister accusingly. Then it hit him. "The Earth Mother, it's her, isn't it?" Kingsley's face darkened. "What do you know about her?" The two wizards were silent as they kept their cards to their chest. But during this poker game, one player made a mistake. He showed one of his cards to the audience. In the eyes of witnesses, by not immediately denying he had been bought, he proved it to be true. "Expecto Patronum," Ron and Hermione yelled, conjuring their own Patronus. "Expecto Patronum," the headmistress cast with a furious gaze at the minister. "Expecto Patronum," the members of De called out as they did the same. "Expecto Patronum." Everyone, student and teacher at Hogwarts who could perform the spell, had done so. Everyone was now standing between the forces of the Ministry and Luna. Luna's screaming had stopped, and her shaking had subsided as she awoke to see Harry holding her. Her usually musical voice was hoarse as she whispered, "Bellatrix, it hurt." Harry instinctively held Luna against him as she sobbed. The rest of Hogwarts could only stare at the girl whom they had loved, hated, and tormented over the years. For the first time, they saw her not as a squib, a witch, or a loony. They just saw a girl crying. It turned out to be the final straw that broke the camel's back. A vicious curse was cast at the minister, who only just ducked in time. This caused a chain reaction as everyone in the room started throwing curses at the ministry. The ministry responded in kind with their own wave of attacks. Only 6 months earlier, at the same setting the last war had ended, a new war had begun. Harry quickly pulled Luna away from the fighting as the opposing sides charged each other. Phileas led the forces as he sent a wave of spells, charms, and curses at any aura in his path. "Charge them. Stomp them, smash them. We won't stop until we crush them." As Harry continued to drag Luna away from the fighting, she stopped him. "No, Harry, this is our fight. This is my fault, it's my war." "I can't leave them." Harry violently shook his head. "I'm not letting you anywhere near those Dementors, Luna." Luna yelled. "It's not your choice, Harry. I can't leave them, and you can't leave your soldiers." Harry looked at her worried. "Are you sure, Luna?" "I'm a soldier of De Harry, and this isn't my first war." Luna hummed defiantly. "I don't want to hurt anyone, but I won't abandon my friends." Luna, without waiting for a response, turned and ran towards the fighting. Harry quickly followed and was sending his own wave of curses at the auras. As Luna hit a wall of bodies and entered the thick of battle, she felt the Dementors around her. This time she was prepared and yelled as loud as she could. "Expecto Patronum." A most curious thing happened. Luna did not cast a Patronus, became one. In the middle of the chaos of battle, some of the fighting wizards could not help but stare. A shining hair was tackling auras and Dementors at lightning speed. Dementors were fleeing in droves as the living Patronus smashed its way through their dark figures. Only after the Dementors had all fled did Luna return to normal. Harry had rounded up the members of De and was coordinating their attacks as they cursed their way through the aura's forces. Harry saw Phileas lunge through the air as he sent auras flying from a vicious reducto curse. Harry could not help but laugh as Phileas landed on another aura's head, knocking him out in the process. "Having fun there, Phileas?" Harry asked as they stood together among the chaos. "You have no bloody idea, Mr. Potter. Still regret not becoming an aura?" Phileas cackled as he levitated one to the ceiling before casting a sticking charm to keep him there. The aura was clearly afraid of heights. The state of his robes proved it. "Nope, can't say I do." Harry laughed as he flat out punched another one in the face. Harry felt Phileas pull him down violently as a cutting curse flew over his head and hit another student. Harry watched in shock as his student, dropped dead. "They did not." Phileas quivered in rage. "They did not just do that, I'm going to kill him." Harry and Phileas screamed as they fought their way through the battle. The games were over. This had turned deadly. Luna also saw the student fall and unleashed a wave of fire that sent auras fleeing for their lives. Luna flew over the crowd as she unleashed all the forces of nature down on the ministry. She was suddenly blindsided by a Dementor that had returned. Luna felt it grab her throat as it tossed her to the ground. Harry tried to fight his way to reach her as the Dementor floated down to her. Luna could feel the cold returning, the pain was returning. The Dementor lowered itself onto her, only for a golden stag to knock it away. "Luna, are you all right?" Harry asked as he helped her up to her feet. "Not really," Luna answered honestly. "They are killing each other. I have to help them." Luna looked around and saw nothing but chaos, as any sense of order had long since dissolved. She bodies lying unconscious on the ground. Oh, she hoped they were unconscious. Blood was on the golden floor, and screams filled the air. "How did things get so out of hand?" Luna cried. "I just want to help people. It's my fault my friends are dying and I can't help them. I'm not strong enough." "You know what they say, just say the magic words, and your problems go away." Luna's was startled by the voices in her head as the Noggles continued to speak to her. "Prove that we are real, prove just how loony you are, just say the magic words, Moon Child." Say the magic words. Luna closed her eyes and screamed the magic words the Noggles so desperately wanted her to say. Imaginatio potestatum. The fighting ceased as they heard Luna's unknown spell. They waited for its effect to take place, but nothing seemed to happen. After a good 30 seconds, it was the voice of Kingsley that spoke. "See, just the ramblings of a lunatic. This is what you all fight for." Then they heard it. It was distant and quiet, but it echoed throughout the room. Laughter, a twisted, maniacal, almost musical laughter. "Ha, you want ramblings of a lunatic? Well, you've heard nothing yet," the voice cackled. Its laughter grew louder as the source drew closer. "You have no idea what's about to go down, Baldy Ha," a second voice hacked, taunting the minister. "Oh, it feels so good to be reality." "I think I remember our names," the third voice croaked. "Yes, I am Anarchium," the first voice crooned. "I am a new Alpha Ochai, O to Alpha," the second voice screeched. The third voice spoke last. "I am Anarchy." "What are you?" Kingsley yelled. Their voices now filled the room as they answered the minister. "We are the power that awakens in the skies. We are the secrets lying behind her scared eyes, Moon Mother, Moon Child, the children of the wise. Shall awaken the dog from where it lies." They appeared above them, and Luna could not take her eyes away. They really were most ugly, yet somehow almost pretty. They looked like some deformed mix of fairy and pixie. They had moss-green skin and long blue noses. They had large yellow eyes and an orange horn on their heads. Their teeth were purple and had razor-sharp fangs, while their hands held long, silver claws. At only a foot in height, they did not look very intimidating. However, everyone in the room could feel the essence of their power. The one called Anu Alpha Roach Iota Alpha hollered at the humans. "In other words, we are Noggles, and as the Muggles say, you got hell to pay." The Noggles attacked at lightning speed. They levitated auras and sent them flying as they cackled with glee. Only after a few more seconds did the defenders of Hogwarts snap out of their stunned state to continue the fight. "Son of a Bacharaka," Phileas cursed in gobbledygook. "She did it. She actually did it." Harry was as stunned as everyone else. "I shouldn't be surprised, Luna, after everything we've been through. But Merlin—" "I know, but honestly I'm surprised too. They really are most ugly." Luna hummed before remembering where she was. She raised her hand and blocked a vicious curse from hitting her and sent it back at the caster. "Speak for yourself, you ugly bug-eyed human ha," Anarchium sang with glee. Kingsley watched in amazement as the Noggles tore through his forces. They did so in the most amusing ways one could think of. Some found their clothes missing, while others turned into random animals. Kingsley ran to return to the fighting only to step on a cat's tail and jumped back from its screech. He heard the sickening sound of a frog splatter underneath his feet. Now he was really mad. "Ha, look, Anarchy, I'm juggling." "I'm juggling." "Yes, I see that, Anarchium, but please juggle enemies of the Moon Child, not other kids." "But it's funny," Anarchium pouted as he gently put the students down. You don't know funny if it punched you in the face. And you Alpha Ochai, Ota Alpha taunted. Prove it, Anarchium shot back before he knew Alpha Ochai Ota Alpha punched him in the face. Ha! While the Nargles did whatever they were doing, Kingsley was cursing everyone in sight. Even a few auras were cashing his fire. Hey, Royal, you pathetic waste of blood, a voice called from behind him. Kingsley turned to see the half-goblin lunge through the air and slap him right across the face. Phileas, barely reaching Kingsley's knees, pointed his wand at the minister. Kingsley Shacklebolt, for your crimes, I challenge you to a wizard's duel. Kingsley shook his head. Phileas, have you truly fallen so far? We were friends once, we were in the Order, we even duelled Voldemort together. If it wasn't for Voldemort, I would have killed you then and there, you waste of life, Phileas shouted. Kingsley shook his head. Phileas, what have I done to deserve this hostility? You dare ask why, you know why, you filth, Phileas screamed with rage. Reducto, Kingsley reflected the curse on instinct as it hit the wall beside them, covering the battlefield in debris. Very well, Goblin, you wish to die, then die. Bombardo. Then Phileas redirected the curse back at Kingsley, who was sent flying from its force. Phileas cackled at the fallen foe. You have no idea who you are facing, Royal. Yes, I am a goblin. I am a champion. I have defeated men half as good as you. I have beaten men twice as good, no thrice as good as you. I admit you are a great duelist, Royal. However, I am the best. Sectum Sempra. Kingsley dodged the curse and quickly sent out his own. In a matter of seconds, the two bounced the curse between each other at lightning speed before Phileas was smashed against the wall. He gasped as he felt his left arm snap. Kingsley smirked. You may be right, Flitwick, but you are old and weak. Every duelist knows when to hang it up. Yield and I shall spare you. Phileas looked around and saw the fighting had stopped. Most of the auras had been beaten or forced to flee. He looked at Harry and Luna, shaking his head as he slowly arose to his feet. I shall not yield. I shall not plead for mercy. I am a goblin. Phileas tossed his wand at the ceiling, causing it to collapse on all the remaining aura force and Kingsley. The wand shot back into his hand in time to shield the defenders of Hogwarts from getting crushed. Kingsley had shielded himself from damage and cast a cutting charm at Phileas, removing a chuck of his pointed ear. Phileas raised his wand at the sky as a lightning bolt struck him. In a display of truly immense power, the half-goblin channeled the raw electricity before sending it at the minister. Kingsley tried to reflect it back at Phileas, but the goblin continued to harness the lightning. This caused a form of priori incantatum to occur between the two duelists. Phileas howled with laughter. Who's old now, you little shit? Who are you calling little goblin? Kingsley hissed back as he began to crumble under the weight of the goblin's power. If you still think size determines how big or small you are, then you are truly smaller than I, Royal. Phileas spoke wisely as he went into a trance. The power of the lightning forced Kingsley to his knees. He was starting to feel the lightning burn his wand. The minister grinned as he slowly let go of his wand with one hand and reached behind him. Phileas looked at him, confused, before realization dawned. Kingsley tossed his wand away, forcing the goblin's arm to follow. Kingsley reached with his other hand, now holding a second wand, and brought a curse down at the exposed limb. Defindo! Phileas screamed as his hand fell to the floor, still holding his wand. Phileas dropped to his knees as the minister aimed his wand at his foe. Luna started to scream in horror while Harry had to hold her back. Kingsley glared at Luna. You can't help him, Squib. He made this a duel. To interfere would only kill you both. Kingsley turned back to the wounded man before him. Phileas, it is over. You were not quick enough. You have fought well. Now it's time to forfeit. Phileas looked at his hand with disdain before he took his wand from it and stumbled to his feet, leaning against the wall. In a harsh whisper he spoke. No, 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 Phileas shouted as he sent a feeble curse at Kingsley, who did not even move as it missed by a mile. Kingsley rubbed his face. Phileas Flitwick, you foolish goblin, please don't let your pride destroy you. I would suggest the same to you, my foe, Phileas grunted. For pride will not destroy me, it shall save me. What are you talking about? Kingsley scoffed. Phileas grinned. Who are we if not the ones we love? As long as they live and their loved ones live, I am truly immortal. You're as mad as Dumbledore. No, I'm as mad as Pandora, my child in spirit. Phileas turned to Luna. As are you, dear girl. No matter what happens, know that Pandora loves you even in death as I shall. No, Phileas, don't, Luna cried out, tears in her eyes. I must, child, this is something I must do. Harry, look after her for me. I am so proud of both of you. I wish I could see the end of your tale. Do me proud? Harry nodded as he held Luna close to him. Phileas turned to the astonished minister. So this is it. You are just going to let me kill you? Phileas laughed with humor, only adding to the minister's confusion. No, Kingsley, I am going to kill you. What? Phileas' face contorted with a mixture of pride and hate. Goblins don't go quietly royal, they go screaming. Luna, Harry, wizards and witches before me. Hear my scream. Then Phileas screamed the words that killed him even before Kingsley's killing curse hit him. As his body lay lifeless on the ground, his words still echoed in the minds of all who heard him, especially in Luna's. Kingsley Shacklebolt murdered Pandora Lovegood. Chapter 27. A True Goblin. No, please don't leave me. Wake up, Dad. Don't be dead, Luna cried over her mentor's body. Many students were also in tears as they stared at their favorite professor's body. Sir Phileas Flitwick, hero, duelist, champion, innovator, teacher, war hero, legend of man and goblin, was dead. Luna cared not for these things. Her hero, her mentor, her friend, the man she had loved like a second father, was dead. She raised her hand to his face and closed his eyes. Then the eyes of the room turned away from the body of Phileas and glared at the Minister of Magic. He found two wands already aimed at him, one belonging to Harry Potter and the other belonging to Minerva McGonagall. Tell me it's not true, Kingsley, Minerva whispered. Tell me it's not true. Harry could see the sadness in Kingsley's eyes as he looked around him. He closed them and nodded. When his eyes opened, they were hardened and cold. He turned to Minerva and spoke calmly. If Phileas had lied to you, then he would not be dead. Why? Luna cried as she stepped away from Phileas' body and faced the minister. Why did you kill her? Why is my friend dead? Why did you kill my mother? Luna's anger could be felt as her magic filled the room. Her eyes were red from tears, and she held flames in her hands. Kingsley, ignoring the wands aimed at him, took a step towards Luna full of pride. Kingsley Shacklebolt, the Minister of Magic, justified his crime. I did what I was told to do. With that statement, Kingsley stood tall. Before I became Minister of Magic, I was an Auror. It was my job to protect the witches and wizards of England. I fought in both wizard wars, and I fought many dark forces. I have saved you all so many times, it's terrifying. One day I was given the assignment to protect you all from another danger. A witch was trying to concoct ways to give magic to muggles. If such a thing were to happen, the wizarding world would fall. I have killed many wizards and witches, but she was the only one who did not deserve it. But the orders came, so I killed her. I killed that woman without a moment's hesitation. I killed her because it was my duty. If you are so proud of this, then why the cover-up, Royal? Harry uttered as he pressed his wand into the minister's neck. I broke the damn law, Potter. I was a young Auror who would do anything to make it. So I formed an alliance with the Unspeakables. The actions of the Department of Mysteries are rarely legal, but the Ministry lets them do as they please. That is as long as it doesn't get out to the public. The goblin may not have ended my life, but he ended my future. I'm ruined. I shall be impeached by the end of the week. You're damn right, Minerva hissed. Luna continued to fix the minister with a hateful gaze. Something doesn't add up. Who is the Earth Mother? There it is again, Earth Mother. A strange but fitting name the prophecy gave her. Yes, I know the prophecy. The Earth Father unwise with his compromise, with the Earth Mother the devil in disguise. The past shall reprise as another shall demise. Thank your headmistress for trusting me with that knowledge. Kingsley chuckled while Minerva fumed. Kingsley's laughter was cut short as Luna's magic began to constrict around him. "What does it mean? Answer me," Kingsley laughed. "I don't know how someone like you can know so much, yet be so ignorant. It speaks for itself, girl. The answer is clear to one in touch with reality. You spend your days obsessing with fantasy while you run from the truth. You act like the world is out to get you, but you're just a scared little girl who can't separate fact from fiction." "I'd rather be a loony than a murderer royal," Luna hissed. "Murderer," Kingsley roared. "I saved your life, child. I saved all your lives. Don't you fools get it? If that mad woman had lived, you would all be dead." "Don't call my mother mad," Luna shouted at the minister. Kingsley scoffed. "She experimented on you, girl. She used you as her little creation. Of course she was mad. She was Frankenstein to a monster, and believe me, girl, you are the monster." "Shut up," Luna screamed as the air rose in temperature. "You think she loved you. If only you knew the truth, girl. You are nothing but a puppet on a string. Even in death she still uses you. None of us have free will, we all have our strings. The trick is to choose who holds them. I chose wisely, dear girl, and I'm not the only one," Kingsley taunted. "You killed my mother, you killed my friend. I hate you," Luna shrieked. Kingsley took a step forward as if to dare her. "Then do it, kill me, fucking bury me. I can't stop you. Use your almighty powers to strike me down, almighty Luna. Kill the wizard who saved your lives. I will not repent. I shall be sacked and thrown in Azkaban anyway, so you might as well take your revenge. Show them all your great power. If you are capable, that is." "I'm more than capable, Royal," Luna uttered under her breath. "Then prove it," Kingsley commanded. "I've said all I'm going to say, and reinforcements will soon be here. I'm not afraid to die." The room was engulfed in a blinding, burning light. The light forced Kingsley to his knees as he struggled to breathe under its force. Luna was shaking as she closed her tear-stained eyes. As quickly as it came, the light left the room, leaving the minister gasping for air. "You should be afraid," Luna hummed sadly, her eyes remaining closed. "My mother is not here with me, but I know I will see her again. She is just on the other side of the veil. Who will you find beyond the veil, Royal?" Kingsley shook his head. "I don't know what you are talking about." "You will someday," Luna spoke. "The day you go beyond the veil, you will understand, but that day is not today." Luna slowly walked away from Kingsley and knelt by the body of her mentor. Without sparing him a single glance, she whispered under her breath, "Get out." Kingsley could not hide his confusion. "What?" The gates of Hogwarts burst open, and a darkness fell over the hall as Luna screamed. "Get out." The minister did not need to be told thrice, as he ran as fast as he could. He quickly summoned a broom and took off into the sky. Ron looked between Luna and the fleeing minister in confusion. "What are you doing? We have to stop him." Luna shook her head. "No, we don't. He is nothing now." "But he killed your—" "I know that," Luna whispered. "He wanted to see what I was capable of. Well, I am capable of mercy. Enough blood has been shed tonight. I don't want to stain myself with any more even his." Luna kissed the forehead of Phileas Body before she took his cold hand. Luna looked over her shoulder and took Harry's as well. "I don't think I shall return to Hogwarts. Bye." And just like that, Luna, Harry, and the late Goblin vanished from Hogwarts, never to return. In the highest room of Gringotts, the owner of the bank waited for the inevitable. Ragnar was not an emotional goblin. He was cold-hearted like his people. He had personally participated in many executions and wasn't afraid to swindle his friends. He was not used to useless things like sympathy or empathy, but soon he heard a knock on his door. "You better have a Dutchvin good reason to be knocking on my door." Ragnar cursed as he opened the door. Bonesnapper took off his hat and bowed to the great goblin. Ragnar sighed. "Dead." Bonesnapper nodded silently before whispering, "They just arrived in the apparition room. Forgive me for being blunt, my lord, but I feel we should head down immediately." Ragnar nodded and led the way through the hallowed halls of Gringotts. As they walked, they found more goblins heading to the apparition room. When they arrived, Ragnar was greeted by many somber goblins, hats removed from their heads. "What is the meaning of this? Why are you not at your assigned stations?" Ragnar shouted despite knowing the answer. The goblins parted and revealed to him a sorrowful sight. A young blonde girl he assumed to be Luna Lovegood was on the floor crying on Harry Potter's shoulder. Beside the two young humans was the body of Sir Phileas Flitwick. Ragnar froze at the sight of Phileas before he spoke unusually quiet. Everyone return to your posts. Kargak inform the Ministry Treaty Clause 24 will be in effect on the 9th. The goblins quickly dispersed as Ragnar approached the humans. Luna looked broken to the head goblin as she whispered. "What will happen to him, sir?" Ragnar sighed. "He will be laid to rest in our most sacred of catacombs. Only the greatest of us are buried there. Half-breed or not, Phileas was the best of us." Luna turned back to Harry and sobbed as Ragnar examined Phileas' body. After a few minutes, Ragnar spoke. "We shall make sure you are well accommodated until the funeral. You are welcome to stay long as you wish. When you are ready, my guards can take you to your room." Ragnar turned to leave but hesitated. He rested his hand on Luna's shoulder and whispered, "You are not the only one who has lost someone today. The goblins have lost a legend. Our entire nation shall be in grieving. Gringotts shall be closed the week of his funeral. I have lost more than that. He was my brother, Miss Lovegood, half-brother at least." To the goblin's surprise, Luna hugged him and cried on his shoulder. The goblin slowly patted her back in confusion before she let him go. "Why did he have to die?" Luna mourned. "Why did he have to leave me?" Ragnar shook his head. "He died for you. My brother had to die because he believed there were things greater than himself. He believes in you and your dream. That is what separated him from us goblins. He was willing to die if it meant the world would be a better place. I never understood my brother, or at least his human side. Now that I have met you, I think I understand him a little better than before." "I'm going to miss him," Luna whimpered weakly. Ragnar knew he would have a broken heart if he was human. "We will all miss him, Luna," Harry whispered hoarsely. "But remember what your mother told you. He hasn't left us, just like she hasn't Luna." "I don't understand it is dead. When we go, we don't come back. The dead have nothing to do with the living," Ragnar grunted. "Then how do they hurt us after they go?" Luna sighed. "How do they make us grieve for them? How do they make us laugh at the good times we shared? How do they inspire us, terrify us? How do they haunt us?" Luna's eyes seemed to light up with understanding. "They live on through us. They live in our memories. We are memories, and when we go, we will remain in the memories of others. They are always with us as long as we remember them. Only by forgetting do they truly leave us. Minister, the goblins have enacted the Treaty Clause 26. They are demanding Gringotts be closed on the 9th for the funeral of Obliviate," Kingsley whispered as he charmed his secretary. "You never saw me. You fell asleep and will awake in 5 minutes." The secretary passed out as Kingsley continued the ransacking of his office for personal possessions. He was in too deep now, and he had to get out. There had to be some place he could go. America, France, Russia, Africa, Japan, Canada. As he turned to leave his office, he ran into an unspeakable he recognized. "Mr. Corner, what are you doing in my office?" The middle-aged man's face was void of emotion as he whispered, "I am not Mr. Corner, Kingsley." The minister's blood ran cold. He knew who this was. "Polyjuice," the impostor nodded. "Mr. Corner is actually an assignment. I found out he was responsible for the first security breach back in September. He basically told his son about the freak. Now his son is dead and Mr. Corner is being punished." "How so?" Kingsley asked wearily. "Nothing you must concern yourself with, Minister. I believe you have enough to worry about as it is." The impostor looked around at the office. "Going somewhere, Minister," Kingsley sighed. "The half-breed is dead. He broke his vow and revealed my part in Lovegood's death." "I see," the impostor noted. "You are in deep trouble, Kingsley." "I'm finished. I have to flee before I'm thrown into Azkaban," Kingsley announced as he tried to leave the room. The impostor jabbed her wand into Kingsley's chest. I don't think so. We still have much to talk about." The impostor forced Kingsley into a chair, then sat behind the minister's desk. "What do they know about me?" Kingsley spoke calmly. They believe you are the Earth Mother from the prophecy. They know you are the head unspeakable. They know I work with you. For me, the impostor interrupted. With you, Kingsley growled. They do not know who you are, but it is only a matter of time. They think I'm this devil in disguise. How uncivilized, the impostor muttered. What happened to Potter and the freak? I tried to arrest them. The school fought back. Students were killed, but the girl was able to stop our forces. I was forced to flee. She could have killed me, but she let me go, Kingsley reported. So it's a disaster. You really are finished, Kingsley. What about the Dementors? Did they stop her? At first, Kingsley muttered. What do you mean? The impostor whispered coldly. Kingsley shivered. She started screaming. A real bad memory. He held the Dementors back, and the students cast Patronus charms. Then the fighting. 1 second you held the Dementors back, Kingsley nodded. She was screaming, like the Scrucio. Kingsley screamed as the impostor cursed him, falling out of his chair from his spasms. The impostor lifted the curse and sighed. You know, I really hate doing that, but you must be punished. Get up, I don't have all day. Kingsley slowly rose to his feet and went to sit, only for his chair to vanish. The impostor spoke coolly. We made a deal, Kingsley. You scratch my back and I scratch yours. It goes the other way, too. If it wasn't for me, you would still be a junior aura. If it wasn't for you, I would be in Azkaban. Now you are heading there, and I am no closer to getting the freak. What can I do? Kingsley asked weakly. I'm finished. I'm sure I can find some use for you. The impostor muttered as the secretary awoke from her stupor. Kingsley aimed his wand at her. Oblivi, Avada Kedavra. The dreaded curse killed the secretary in a heartbeat. If you are going to do something, minister, do it properly. Do not hesitate, do not show restraint. The impostor got up to leave, pausing at the door. Well, are you coming or not? Kingsley was staring at his secretary's body as he slowly rose to his feet. Yes. What should I do? Wait in my office until I return, the impostor ordered. As for myself, I think I shall do what I should have from the beginning. Kingsley looked at the impostor expectantly. She smiled with mischief as she elaborated. I'm going to meet with an old friend. Many witches and wizards showed up to Gringotts only to find the bank closed. Despite the warnings in the Daily Prophet, many refused to accept this rare phenomenon. The goblins cared not for the woes of humans. Today was a sacred day. Today they would lay one of their most hallowed brethren to rest. Harry and Luna were awoken from their sleep by the voice of Borgak, their personal guard at Gringotts. Wake up, vermin. Ragnar will be leaving for the funeral at the next ringing of the gongs, and he will not be waiting for you. The two human were quickly escorted by the grumpy goblin, meeting Ragnar at one of the vaults. Welcome, goblin friend. I hope your stay has been hospitable, as good as it can be given the circumstances, Harry replied formally. I understand it has been a time of mourning for our races. Today we are bestowing honor to our fallen knight, so do not mourn his loss, celebrate his victory. Ragnar spoke as he opened the vault. Inside was not treasure or gold, but a strange archway that seemed to lead to nowhere. Luna shivered, reminded of the archway in the Department of Mysteries. Where does that lead? Ragnar chuckled. Portals are a creation of goblins that we do not share with humans. We once built a portal to bring back our fallen brethren. To defy the laws of life and death can only end in more death. That portal is used by the Ministry to dispose of dangerous artifacts or people. This portal, however, will take us to my brother's resting place. Ragnar walked through the archway, followed by Harry and Luna. They could not help but look in awe of the great goblin palace. It was made entirely out of gold and could have held 5 Hogwarts. The gate was made of rubies, and the moat held many amphibious dragons not known to wizardkind. The goblin stood tall. Welcome to Camelot, home of the Goblin King. Harry gasped. Camelot. The three walked through the palace in amazement at the wonderful works of art that would make Da Vinci blush. Soon they stepped foot into a room the size of Diagon Alley. It was filled with rows and rows of golden statues. This where the greatest of our race are laid to rest. The catacombs of Camelot. Ragnar whispered as they stepped in from a golden casket. "The others shall be arriving soon. I will leave you until the funeral begins." Harry and Luna stood in silence as they stood by the coffin, neither saying a word, even as the goblins began arriving in droves. Soon, the entire room was crammed with over 1 million goblins. Harry could spot a few humans in the crowd and recognized a few Hogwarts professors among them. Suddenly, the room was silent as the last goblin entered the tombs. He was twice the size of a normal goblin and hideously deformed. He held a ruby battle axe in one hand and silver staff in the other. He wore an emerald cloak and a crown of solid gold. All the goblins bowed as Ragnar's voice boomed. "All hail Odorous Urungus, the 956th, the great goblin king. Rise, my subjects," Odorous commanded in a guttural voice. "As king, I bless Ragnar with the honor of beginning this ceremony." Ragnar nodded as he stood on top of the golden coffin. "1,000 years ago, we built this castle so humans and goblins could rule as one. Representing the wizards was Merlin. Representing the muggles was a king named Arthur. Representing the goblins was the goblin king Lancelot. Together our races lived in harmony. Then the unthinkable happened. The muggle queen fell in love with Lancelot. Soon the earth was consumed with war. Relations between our races never recovered. Yet here we are today, goblins and wizards, united in one common goal. Sadly, it is a somber one, laying to rest an amazing being. Sir Phileas Flitwick was begotten by human and goblin. Like Guinevere and Lancelot, their love was forbidden. It was a time when goblins and wizards fought for control of England. Phileas was a bastard in the eyes of goblin and men. Even I was raised to believe my half-brother was inferior. Only after I had grown older and wiser did I learn otherwise. Phileas was an outcast, but he refused to be beaten. He spent over 200 years looking to find his place in the world. He found happiness. He found love 3 times in his life. He found despair as his wives and children perished with the passing of time. I remember seeing him after the last child of his 3rd wife passed. He told me he had enough love and heartbreak for one lifetime. Something changed in him after that. Only when we lose everything do we live without fear. Phileas decided to dedicate his life to himself, even if it killed him. He entered his first dueling competition despite never holding a wand before. Goblins, of course, being banned from owning wands after the failed revolution of King Carrack. Phileas lost, obviously, but he kept coming back for more. He kept losing, and the wizards loved to watch it. One day I asked him why he would do this to himself. Phileas winked and showed me books he had collected over the years. He told me it is the only chance to practice the spells he read. Only Phileas would enter dueling contests to learn magic. He learned well, because the bastards started winning. Phileas was no longer interested in being accepted. He wanted to be exceptional. To the dismay of many wizards and to the joy of us goblins succeeded. He became legend when he won the title of champion and was finally given a wand. He used this wand to fight for the goblins against more than one Dark Lord. He stood up for the rights of goblins and in his retirement became head unspeakable for the Ministry of Magic. He truly found happiness in teaching. The hardened warrior was wonderful around children. He wasn't afraid to make them laugh at his height. He loved those children, and I believed they filled a void in his heart that dueling never could. He became quite attached to one girl who he took on as his protégé. Once again, he found himself grieving as the protégé died. Phileas was a brilliant man, but he never saw himself as one. He was proud of his accomplishments, downright vain with his talents, and truly believed he was the greatest duelist of all time. Yet he always felt he had failed as a man. He was never able to save the ones he loved from death. Never accepting, until the end, the truth all goblins know. Death is inevitable and irreversible, but our lives are in our own hands. On November the 6th, 1998, Sir Phileas Flitwick died as he lived, fighting. He died to protect the ones he loved. He died to make the world a better place. Most importantly, he died conquering death. He is an inspiration to the Goblin nation. The world will never be the same because of him. He was a true goblin, and I'm sorry it took me so long to learn that." Ragnar hopped off the coffin and sat down among the crowd. The thundering voice of the Goblin King again echoed through the tomb. "Any who wish to speak, do so now." To Harry's surprise, Luna rose from her seat and walked to the coffin. She did not face the crowd as she whispered, "After the death of my mother, it was you who cared for me. It was you who protected me. You once told me you loved me like I was your own child. I don't think I ever truly realized how much you meant to me until you were gone. I'm scared. I don't know if I can do this without you, but I swear I will try. I once said you were like a second father to me, but I was wrong. Yaoria second father to me. I love you, Dad. I wish I said that while you were still alive. Thank you for being my hero. I will never forget you. I miss you." Luna silently returned to her seat as the Goblin King commanded. "Unleash the dragon fire." Out of nowhere, a dragon appeared flying over the catacombs. While many humans panicked, the goblins calmly rose their feet and began to chant. The dragon unleashed a wave of fire at the golden coffin, which melted into a puddle of gold. The Goblin King then screamed. In the sacred catacombs of Camelot, rise once more. The liquid gold slowly began to rise and take shape. In place of a coffin stood a statue of Phileas Flitwick. The goblins all chanted, "Now he is truly golden, now he is truly immortal." The Goblin King spoke solemnly, "May your legend live on for all time. May your gold always shine." Chapter 28, Xanadu. I do not own or profit from the following. Lyrics of the song Xanadu by the greatest band Everrush. I'm Canadian, so I might be biased. The following novels quoted are Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte and Atonement by Ian McEwan. Ragnar waited as patiently as he could outside his own vault. He lasted an entire minute before he started screaming to the occupant inside. "What in the name of dragon shit are you doing in there? Trying to concentrate, you vile cockroach-infested piece of manure." Unfortunately for Ragnar, it would be another hour before the vault opened. The goblin immediately noticed something off. "What is that?" "Ragnar, if you would calm down a second, shut your orifice, Phileas, and answer my wizard-damned question." Phileas sighed. "I'm going to die, brother. I'm not sure when, but I plan on breaking the unbreakable vow." Ragnar was silent for exactly 2 seconds. "That does not make it okay to steal from our vaults, Phileas. I should have you executed now." Phileas glared at his half-brother. "I am many things, but I am not a thief. I could kill you for such a false accusation. This was gifted to me. I was there when it was destroyed." "What purpose do you have with a broken rock?" Ragnar sneered. "Nothing, you idiot. It's a rock. It still has its uses. I could bash you on the head with it. I could skip it across a pond. I could enchant it." Phileas muttered as if to himself. "Into what?" "Something useful, ratcock," Phileas barked. "If Luna wishes to continue her mission, tell her hold the stone and say the magic words." Phileas bowed to Ragnar. "Goodbye, brother. I love you with all my heart." The goblin began to turn green before Phileas roared with laughter. "Ha! You should see the look on your face," Ragnar screamed. "May your death be extremely painful. May your children be disgraced." Phileas screamed back. "May your nose be stuck up your. May your bank go bankrupt." "Take that back," Ragnar hollered. "Enough of this, out you go." Luna felt herself being pulled from the pensive and reappeared in Ragnar's office. She looked to Harry, who was beside himself with mirth. "You two really were siblings," Harry chuckled. "Shut up," Ragnar grumbled as he showed them a cracked ruby stone. "As you can see, Phileas left you this stupid rock." "Know what my brother left me? Gold." Luna tilted her head. "How much gold?" If looks could kill, Luna would be dead. Ragnar shoved the stone into Luna's hands. "I'm sure you know what this used to be," Harry nodded. "The Sorcerer's Stone." "Actually, it's called the Philosopher's Stone," Luna hummed. "Philosopher's Stone? What kind of name is that?" Harry argued. "A better name than Sorcerer's Stone," Luna shot back. "What's wrong with calling it the Sorcerer's Stone?" Harry muttered defensively. Philosopher's Stone has a ring to it. Sorcerer's Stone sounds like the name was dumbed down for stupid people, Luna stated calmly. Who are you calling stupid? Harry asked, hurt. American publishers. Will you both shut up? The goblin growled. Who cares what it was called? It's just a broken rock. Well, Phileas said he did something to the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry emphasized as he looked the stone over. What did Phileas mean by the magic words? Luna's eyes lit up. Judging from recent events, the words are imaginatio post moops. Harry and Luna felt the familiar tug from behind their navels, and with a pop disappeared. Ragnar stared at where the two had been standing for 5 seconds, before he muttered, "Good riddance." In the tallest tower on the smallest island, the oldest man with the youngest of faces watched two of the strangest people he had ever seen appear before him. He had been expecting them, of course. Nothing surprised him, for nothing was unexpected in a world where anything can happen. The old man spoke slowly. Luna Lovegood and Harry Potter, welcome to my home. Harry looked around the small room. The walls were bare, no pictures, no windows. The only piece of furniture in the room was the throne the old man was sitting on. The heavily padded chair was clearly designed more for comfort than appearances. Luna looked up into the old man's cold grey eyes. Hello, sir. I hope we aren't intruding. We didn't know the stone was made into a portkey. The old man smiled warmly. Well, it's good someone found an honorable purpose for my old stone. Allow me introduce myself. My name is Nicolaus Flamel, and this is my home. It is honor to meet you, sir, Luna whispered as she bowed. Likewise, I have been alive for over 600 years, but it is not every day you meet Tom Riddle's Bane and the Moonchild, Flamel uttered with reverence. Harry spoke up for the first time. Hello, sir. I'm sorry about what happened with your stone. Nonsense, child. The stone was a cursed object. I created it from my vanity. I created it from my greed. Nothing good can come from such a vile conception. It cursed me with the gift of immortality. Too tired from living to enjoy it, too scared of death to destroy it. Only suffering could ever come from that stone. Trust me, Harry Potter, it does this old heart good to see it gone. The old man rose from his seat and seemed to float towards the two young mortals. Vanity and greed is something that is lacking in your hearts. There is nothing wrong with greed and vanity. Greed allows us to strive for better things, while vanity allows us the confidence to achieve our lofty goals. However, too much of anything will make it sour. My life is proof of this. You too are pure in intention. The results of those intentions are unknown, even to me. Some of the worst deeds ever committed have been done with the best of intentions. If I prevented you from fulfilling your quest, the world will remain as it is. Yet nothing good can come from stagnancy. Only through progress can the world achieve nirvana. If you want to make the world a better place, you must change it. Change can be unpredictable, it can be frightening. That is the risk we all must take. It is a risk worth taking. So much has changed in my long life, yet the world is still the same rock orbiting the sun, which orbits the galaxy. Nothing matters, yet everything matters. We are as significant as we believe ourselves to be. There is only one Earth, and that makes us very special. The deeds you wish to commit will be the dawn or the setting of mankind. It is not too late to walk away, but America was not discovered on purpose. A man dared to sail off the edge of the earth hoping to discover something spectacular. Will you, Luna Lovegood, dare to venture into the unknown for the betterment of mankind? Are you prepared to discover the realities of the universe, both the spectacular and the devastating? And are you prepared to face all you will have to face? Yes, Mr. Flamel, Luna whispered with devotion. Harry Potter, are you prepared to discover your potential? Are you prepared to carry the burden of greatness on your shoulders? And are you prepared to follow the path you are on, to heaven or hell, with and for the one you love? Of course, sir, Harry answered with conviction. Then by the power invested in me, I shall help you on your quest. I offer you my home, my knowledge and protection. May magic bless you for all time, the old wizard decreed. A soundless silence followed his words. A ripple of magic flowed through the two young mortals. Harry broke the silence. Luna, did we just get married? Flamel laughed heartedly as he shook his head. You remind me of you, father. Dumbledore invited me to both of your parents' weddings, which I despise. A big, long ceremony where people say they love each other and act like they took the plunge, only to divorce 5 years later. You want commitment, give your girlfriend the Philosopher's Stone. Told you, Luna muttered, causing Harry to groan. I was stuck with that woman for 600 years of nagging. Now she has finally passed on, I miss her to death. Love's funny, isn't it? I'm a 600-year-old philosopher, and I still don't understand it. Luna took Harry's hand as she whispered. Whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same. If that's not love, I don't know what is. The two wizards stared at the witch. Harry wrapped his arms around Luna and kissed her with enthusiasm, oblivious to the old man. Young love, yes, I believe you are correct, child. Love is as simple and as complicated as we make it, Flamel said gleefully. You are wise beyond your years, child. That's my lovely Luna, Harry said proudly, causing the girl to blush. I was just quoting a book I read. Luna muttered bashfully. The old man floated past them down a spiraling staircase Harry had not noticed before. Luna followed Flamel without a second thought, leaving Harry to chase after the two. Why do you have so many stairs? Harry whined after what seemed like days. So visitors don't fall to their deaths. The old man chuckled as he continued his glide. Why the tower, then? Harry pressed on. For the view, of course, Luna answered. But there are no windows, Harry grumbled. Dear child, you don't need a window to view the wonders of the universe. Everything you could ever imagine is in your mind, Flamel stated calmly. By this point, Harry was pretty certain Nicola's Flamel was completely insane. He was also clearly brilliant. Maybe sanity was overrated. Finally, they reached the bottom with Harry panting and wheezing. He walked past his companions to open the door, only to find it locked. Flamel chuckled. That door has been locked for the last 300 years. We have to portkey to the other side. Portkey, portkey. Yes, I believe that is what Mr. Flamel said, Luna hummed. Why didn't we use the portkey from the top of the tower? Harry cried, pulling at his hair. Where's the fun in that? The old man laughed. Harry took it back. Sanity was vastly underrated. Luna couldn't believe her eyes. This had to be a dream. Nothing this beautiful could possibly exist in reality, yet here she was in awe of the paradise around her. Welcome, my children, Flamel announced. Welcome to my home, Xanadu. It was a mystical utopia. The island was covered in flowers of every color. A waterfall was flowing into a pond where unicorns swam. The trees towered above them but did nothing to block the golden sun. Even the grass was greener here. As Luna and Harry took in their surroundings, the old man began to speak. To stand within the pleasure dome, decreed by Kubla Khan to taste anew the fruits of life, the last immortal man to seek the sacred river Alf, to walk the caves of ice to break my fast on honeydew and drink the milk of paradise. It's perfect, Luna whispered. I once felt the same way, child, Flamel uttered under his breath. He pointed to a single tombstone in the shade of the setting sun. Carved on this stone is the name of my beloved wife Perenelle Flamel. If only I knew then what I do now. Xanadu is my curse. This paradise is a prison, and I am a prisoner of my own device. I long to be with my beloved once more, but it is impossible now. Harry and Luna gasped as Flamel's hand passed right through the stone of Perenelle's grave. He shed a tear that did not exist as he whispered into the night. Held within the pleasure dome, decreed by Kubla Khan to taste my bitter triumph, as a mad immortal man nevermore shall I return. Escape these caves of ice, for I have dined on honeydew and drunk the milk of paradise. Flamel turned to the stunned couple. The ghost spoke in a voice full of compassion. The hour is late as sun now meets the ocean. Rest for the night and take in the fruits of my sin. Without waiting for a reply, the doomed soul floated away and vanished from sight. It was late into the night as Harry happily watched Luna befriend the unicorns. Luna slowly walked up to one of the unicorns and gently rubbed the majestic creature's back. I'm going to name you Sunny Muffin, Sonny Muffin? Harry hesitantly asked. It's what my dad named his pet snorkack, Luna stated. What? Well, he didn't actually have a pet snorkack, but he wanted to have a name ready for when he caught one. Luna giggled before sighing sadly. I miss him. Harry pulled Luna into a hug and kissed the top of her head. You will see him again soon. We may have our differences, but we both care for you, Luna. Luna buried her head in Harry's shoulder. I haven't seen him in months. I know he worries about me, and now he doesn't even know where I am. He has lost so much. I'm all he has left. Harry spoke softly, looking into the setting sun. You are an amazing person, Luna. You have placed such a burden on yourself. Your father may not understand what you are trying to do. He may be scared for you. Most of all, I'm sure he is very proud of you. As Luna shook her head. I can't do this on my own. I wouldn't have made it without you. You gave me the confidence to face the world. I was scared of what was happening to me, how I was changing, but now I understand. The young witch stood on her tiptoes and kissed Harry on his forehead. I am still the same girl that spoke to you on top of the burrow, and on top of the train, and the tower. Luna, Harry interrupted her train of thought as she began to ramble. Sorry, Luna blushed as she continued. I'm still who I was, I'm just more now, I'm stronger now. I'm happier now and owe it all to you. You have helped me more than you could ever know. You are my hero, Harry, and you will always be my inspiration. I bear this burden because that is what you would do. I strive to help people because that is what you always do. I just thought you were a nice, misunderstood boy when I first met you. When I joined DA, I realized I wanted to be like you. Now I know I want to be with you, no matter what happens, for as long as I live, and longer still. Harry could not help but shed tears as he embraced his love. I love you, Luna, more than I ever thought possible. You're the most extraordinary person I will ever know. I never wanted to be a hero. I just wanted to find the family I never had. I have found it in you. You make me want to be more than I am. You make me want to be a better person. I love you more than I love anyone or anything, even myself. Luna's eyes widened with unshed tears. Harry, do you realize what you're saying? Harry looked confused. I think I do. Why? Luna put her hand over his heart. You are saying you value my life over your own. Of course I do, and I would die for you. I have told you this. Harry insisted. Luna shook her head. Saying you would die for someone and saying you value a person's life over your own isn't the same. What you are saying is far more meaningful. It is, Harry questioned. Luna nodded, almost shaking. Very, Luna placed her soft, pale hand serenely on his cheek. Mother was right. She once told me that no matter how lonely I felt, I would one day find someone to share my life with, to share my heart and soul. I found happiness in you. Luna lowered her hand over Harry's heart as he felt it stop. I value your life over mine. I love you more than anyone, even myself. I believe in you completely. You are my dearest one, my reason for life. Luna slowly backed into the magical forest as if she was floating. She disappeared from sight, yet Harry found himself drawn to her presence. Instead of the usual chaos of her mind, Luna's thoughts were overwhelmed by one thing. Luna knew in her soul that she needed to take this plunge, but it terrified her. She felt like she was about to jump off a cliff, and she wasn't sure what awaited her at the bottom. She knew Harry would be there to catch her, but this time she needed to freely fall into the abyss. Luna came upon a spring in the middle of the enchanted forest. She could feel the magic flowing through the air. The water was shining from the reflection of the moon she cherished so much. Luna felt herself take a deep breath as she slowly began to shed her dress. Luna, what are you doing? Harry nervously asked as he reached the spring. Taking off my clothes so I can go into the spring, Luna hummed. That's not what I mean. Luna looked back up at Harry and saw the thirst in his eyes, overpowered by the affection and concern. Harry heard the quiver in Luna's voice as she whispered, I'm exposing myself and everything inside me. I'm giving myself to you because I am nothing without you. There is nothing I want more, but I am scared. I don't know what I will find out about myselfy. I'm scared of myself. It hit her like a ton of bricks. I'm scared of myself. Luna felt in that moment that if she encountered a Bogart, she would be staring at herself as she stood before Harry. Luna summoned her courage as she continued. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where my quest for magic will take us. I only know that I need you, Harry, all of you, and I need you to have all of me, because I can't make it alone. Luna slowly lowered herself into the spring as Harry, shy and bashful, began to take off his own clothes, still full of uncertainty. This only made Luna laugh, and she realized how wrong she was. Harry quickly lowered himself into the water as Luna giggled. I was wrong. I'm not giving anything to you. I have already given you everything, Harry. Are you sure about this, Luna? Nope, you. Not at all. Well, I guess we never are sure, but when has that ever stopped us? Chapter 29. The Wonder of Magic. Guess who's back again? Luna's back. Tell a friend, guess who's back, guess who's back, guess who's back, I'm back. Eminem, please don't sue me. Guess what? I'm not dead. So I must apologize profusely for how long it's been. Writer's block is a bitch. The holidays sure didn't help, neither did getting sick or having my hard drive go haywire. But that only excuses 1 month. It will never happen again, I hope. To make it up to you, I present my largest chapter yet. I cannot believe I have 40 hits. Thank you all for this, I'm blown away. Harry awoke in a daze, trying to remember what happened the night before. As his clarity returned, he felt someone lying against him. He did not need to open his eyes to see the girl he loved sleeping with a smile across her face, nor did he want to. For the first time in Harry's life, he felt truly at peace. These same thoughts were going through Luna's mind as she awoke in Harry's arms. I'm dreaming. I can't be this nor mouth is happy, Luna whispered, refusing to open her eyes. Harry kissed the top of her head. How do you feel, Luna? Luna sighed. I feel strong, I feel weak, I feel like butter, Harry chuckled. I know the feeling. I could stay in this spring all night. We did sleep in the spring all night. We are still in it now. Luna reminded him with a giggle before sighing with content. Last night was the happiest of my life. It was magical, Harry. Yes, it was, Luna. This spring is so warm, Harry muttered sleepily. That's not what I meant. Luna giggled. Harry teased. Oh. What did you mean, Miss Lovegood? Luna playfully poked Harry's ribs, causing him to reluctantly open his eyes. Greeting his vision were two very large, bulbous, yellow eyes mere inches from his own. Good morning, Scarface, Luna screamed while Harry cussed. Luna fell into the spring as Harry quickly stood up, only to lose his footing and with a splash, fall back into the water. The sound of laughter surrounded them as they recognized the creatures that cackled in delight. Ha! You should have seen the look on your faces. And you Alpha Ochai, Ota Alpha hollered. I think I pissed my pants, Anarchium cackled, and you Alpha Ochai Ota Alpha laughed. You're not wearing any pants. Will you both shut up? Anarchy scolded. I am sick of your annoying voices. I am sick of your ugly faces. But most of all, I am sick of your Merlin-damned souls. Ouch, ouch. Someone still has a hangover, Anarchium heckled. Nargles can't get hangovers. Anarchy screamed before wincing at the sound of his own voice. But clearly they can get drunk. You proved it last night when you hit on That Ferry. Anarchium giggled, and you Alpha Ochai, Ota Alpha coughed. Pixie, Luna interrupted the bickering Nargles. Not to be rude, but why are you here? Anarchy looked grumpily at the girl. I'm afraid we should have been here sooner, Moonchild, but after 8 years awfullying dormant, and you Alpha Ochai Ota Alpha felt we should celebrate our freedom. And you Alpha Ochai Ota Alpha gurgled. We drank fire whiskey, we smoked gillyweed, and we sniffed some angel dust. Anna, he groaned. They are going to get the wrong idea when you say we sniffed angel dust. Anarchium could hardly suppress his mirth. You're just jealous because your angel dust was from a pixie. And you Alpha Ochai Ota Alpha muttered. I was flattered, really. I'll kill you, Anna, he screamed. The Nargles started laughing and cursing, failing to notice as Harry reached for his wand. Silencio. The Nargles went silent and proceeded to fight each other as they floated away. Anna, he paused until the other two were out of earshot and quickly spoke. Stupid Nargles can't break a first-year charm. You should know that the spirit wishes to meet with you as the sun reaches the sky. Once you find him, it will begin. Luna tilted her head. What will begin? The Nargle grinned wickedly. Your spiritual training. In the middle of a meadow filled with the strangest of flowers, the couple warily approached the old man. The spirit stood unnaturally still, his clothes unmoved by the blowing wind. With his back turned to them, he spoke. You are both incredibly powerful beings individually, but together you are far stronger. This is a good thing indeed. However, for now I wish for Mr. Potter to leave us. Harry Potter, you will continue onward until you find a place to meditate. You shall do so until I find you. Do not break your meditation, no matter what happens. I do not care what you see, what you hear, even if you witness Luna murdered before your unbelieving eyes, you will not abandon your mediation. I promise no harm will come to Miss Lovegood or yourself in Xanadu. Now go, Harry gave Luna a worried look. After she nodded, he kissed her lovingly before departing. Nicola's Flamel sighed as he continued to speak to Luna, still facing away from the young witch. It won't be easy for him. He doesn't trust me, thinks I'm mad. He's probably right, though. After 600 years of living, you would be mad not to be mad. Of course, you are not ignorant in the subject of sanity, are you, Miss Lovegood? Luna nodded. I've been called loony in the past. That is not what I refer to, Flamel uttered. When Luna's silence was his reply, he turned and spoke to the mortal. Sometimes, I think the only difference between those with sanity and those without it is the knowledge the insane must bear. The human mind and heart can only take so much before the dam bursts. Pandora held incredible knowledge, and the world called her crazy. My mother was not crazy, Luna replied sternly. How do you know this, Luna? Knowledge is power. Power is dangerous. Power is inescapable. The universe is full of power, and if you don't use it, another will. If one has too much power, it will corrupt them. Power makes us different from others. It separates us, isolates us, drives us to madness. However used in the right way, it can bring people together. Nothing comes without a price, and the price of power, fame, and glory is often too high. Yet people will do anything to claim such things, believing it will solve all their problems and fulfill the one universal desire we all have. Yet the price of power is often the very thing they wish to gain: love and happiness. Luna Lovegood, you wish to find love and happiness, and yet you wish to hold the power to change the world. You must realize by now it isn't so simple. When you began this quest, you had power unlike anything you ever dreamed of. Show me this power. Luna nodded as she raised her hand and blinked. The stones around her began to rise as the wind began to howl. Closing her eyes, Luna began to levitate as she crossed her legs in a meditation stance. Nicola's Flamel shook his head as he scolded. I said, show me your power. Luna scrunched up her face as she continued to focus her magic. The trees began to rise out of the ground, rocks began to spin around her. The water in the ocean turned from an ethereal calm to a tropical storm as waves pounded and crashed into the island of Xanadu. Yet still, the spirit was not satisfied. Show me your power. Luna was shaking with effort as she ignited in flames. She was transforming into some form of animal before a crack echoed through the air. Luna collapsed on the ground along with the objects floating around her. The weather returned to normal along with the girl now panting on the ground. I feel drained, so tired, Flamel nodded. The price of power is love, and the price of love is power. Remember what you learned from your father, dear child. Love is a part of one's magical core. You add more to it, and it will weaken you. As a squib, you are not a natural witch. You are capable of amazing feats thanks to your mother's work. However, as your bond with Potter grows, you grow weaker. I'm running out of time, Luna uttered softly. More than you think. Xanadu is full of ambient magic. Outside of my creation, your power will be far weaker. Not that it matters if this was the power you wield. Magic is more than that mess you just made, girl. I asked you to show me your power, and you put on a show like some glorified magician. Nicholas cursed. Now show me your true power. The old man let loose an unnatural whistle and watched as a unicorn galloped into the meadow. Luna couldn't help but smile as she pet the graceful creature. "Aren't you pretty? What's your name?" "It doesn't matter since you will be killing her," Flamel muttered. "What?" "You heard me, girl. Strike her down, break her. Do this, and you will retain some of your power." The spirit hissed coldly. "Do this, and you will know the power necessary to fulfill your mother's work and keep your magic. It will distance you from your feelings and the love that drains your magic." Luna looked into the unicorn's pure sapphire eyes before turning on the spirit. "No," Flamel whispered calmly with a hint of a smile. "Why not?" "I don't want to hurt her. I don't want to hurt anybody," Luna whimpered. "You haven't answered my question, child. Why not?" the ghost asked. "I told you why not," Luna shouted desperately. The spirit shook his head. "No, you told me why you don't want to, not why you won't. What if I forced you to? What if I made you do it?" "You can't make me," Luna shouted viciously, as if daring the spirit to try. Flamel, however, simply grinned. "Exactly. That is power, our ability to change the world and to not let the world change us in a negative way. Power is the influence we have on others. Freedom, choice, individuality, this is what makes you special, girl. It is what separates you from the other sheep. It is what separates you from the minister of magic himself. No one can make you do anything, but they will try, child, they will try." "They can't make me either," Luna answered. "You underestimate them," the spirit uttered. "What about the one who holds your heart? Can he not make you do things? You know the choice you must face, child, yet you are not prepared to make it. There are things you must face, things that will challenge your mind, body, and soul. You must face the harsh realities of the world." Luna closed her eyes and revealed her scars. "I'm aware of how cruel the world can be, sir. It is a cruel world, but it's also a wonderful world full of love, happiness, and so much more than even you can comprehend. There is good in this world, and it's worth fighting for. I have what it takes because I have to." The spirit grinned sadly. "Youth, so naive. Yes, the world is a wonderful place, but it is not the world that will be fighting you. Your greatest enemy lies within your heart. You must be prepared to face your demons, or they will consume you." Luna remained silent, so Nicholas continued. "The boy is not the only one who holds sway to your actions. Pandora weighs heavily on your mind. You do this for her more than anything." Luna shook her head. "I do this for myself. I do this because I have an opportunity to help people. If I turn back now, I will never be able to live with myself, knowing that I could have done something. Even if I fail, if I just helped one person." "You sound like Pandora," Flame interrupted sharply. "You think like Pandora. You even look like her. You try so hard to be her, but no matter how hard you try, you will fail. Heed these words. If I teach you nothing else, then know this." Flamel floated towards Luna and looked right into her silver eyes. "You are not your mother. You are nothing like your mother. You don't truly want to be like your mother, you just think you do. You are nothing like your mother, and that's okay. Pandora only wanted you to live your own life, follow your own dreams, and find your own happiness." "I know who I am," Luna insisted. "Really?" "I don't think you do," Nicholas said, as his cold eyes pierced through her soul. "I see much pain in you, child, pain you have long kept buried. You rely totally on Pandora, even though she has long departed from this realm. You have built a wall around yourself, but the very foundation to this wall is cracked. You have put too much faith in that foundation, and soon the wall will fall and it will crush you. You must become your own woman, Luna. A mother is many things, but she is not who you are. She is not the one that gives you life, and she is not the one who nurses you. A mother is the person who raises you, who cares for you. She gives you strength. She gives you morals. She teaches you how to live. She who loves you more than anyone could love another, and she cherishes you. She pours her heart and soul for you. She sheds blood, sweat, and tears for you. She cries when you are sad and laughs when you are happy. She loves you unconditionally, but makes sure you be the best you can be. A mother does anything for their child. They would even die for you, just like Pandora did for you one fateful night." Luna nodded as she felt tears well up in her eyes. The spirit whispered, "A mother loves you. Never forget that, Luna Lovegood. No matter what you face, never forget that." As Harry let his mind wander, it became abundantly clear that he was as good at meditation as he was at occlumency. At no moment did it cross his mind that the two were practically the same. It became increasingly difficult when the earth started to shake, and he heard the sound of trees being ripped from the earth. As he heard a loud crack echo across Xanadu, Harry quickly rose to his feet and pulled out his wand. Before he could head back and help Luna, the sound of a tired sigh filled his ears. "Is it so hard to focus on your meditation, Potter?" Harry turned with haste to see the friendly grin of the ancient spirit. "Or do you truly believe you must save everyone?" "I understand your feelings for the girl, but did I not just say she would be safe?" Harry rolled his eyes. "I assume you are referring to what my dear friend called my saving people thing. Not the wording I would use," Flamel muttered. "You must admit it. You have overcome amazing hardships to fulfill your destiny and defeat Tom Riddle, and yet here you are on another adventure to save Luna's magic. It's more than that." "Yes, it is," the old man interrupted. "It is a noble endeavor. You are a great wizard, Harry Potter." Harry shook his head. "There's nothing special about me, sir." Nicholas raised his eyebrow. "Modesty is admirable. False modesty is deception." "I'm not being modest or deceptive, I'm being honest," Harry growled as he stormed away from the spirit. He made it no farther than 3 feet when he ran face to face with the old man. Yes, there is a difference between modesty and honesty, as there is also a difference between deception and self-deception. The difference is often small, but it can make all the difference, the alchemist uttered. "You could do great things, but only if you accept who you are." "I'm telling you the truth," Harry shouted as turned his back again, this time breaking into a run. "What are you afraid of?" the spirit asked as Harry ran past him. Harry kept running only to pass the dead man again. "You fear what you are, you fear what you became, you fear what you can become." Harry stopped and turned to the ancient being. "I'm not afraid," Flamel sighed. "Then you are either a liar or a fool. The power you hold is as much of a curse as it is a gift. Yet if you do not embrace your potential, then your life will be plagued with regrets." Harry glared at the spirit and spoke quietly. "I fulfilled that prophecy years ago and I failed. Yes, I beat Voldemort, but at what price? So many people died and it was my fault." "Your fault." "Is it so bad being the hero?" the old man whispered. "I don't want to be a hero," Harry shouted. "When you're the hero, no one cares who you are. They only see the name, the scar, the stupid moniker, the list of accomplishments. It separates you from the ones you love." "I will not let that happen, not again and not with Luna." "Then why are you on this journey?" Nicholas asked. "It's not my journey, it's Luna's," Harry answered, calming down. "I know what it's like to be where she is now. I know what it's like to feel alone, to have the weight of the world on your shoulders. I will always be there for Luna to help carry that weight. She has been through so much, yet she is still as pure of heart as she has always been." Flamel nodded. "It is your journey as much as hers. It is not a quest she can fulfill on her own. A time will come when you must choose between what is right and what is easy. The fate of Luna, magic, and the world we stand upon will be decided by this choice. May you choose wisely." After reuniting Harry and Luna from mediation, the master alchemist made them do whatever seemed to cross his fancy. They did handstands, cartwheels, the chicken dance, back flips, front flips, the hockey pokey, while trying to practice more meditation. One must learn to focus their mind in any situation, the old man had told them, ignoring the fact that neither Harry or Luna could do half of what they were told to. Luna had tried using her powers, but was quickly reprimanded by Flamel. Yet after hours of meditating while attempting handstands, cartwheels, the chicken dance, back flips, front flips, and the hockey pokey, he finally called it a day and vanished. "He is mad, Luna, completely and utterly mad," Harry later exclaimed. "He is a most unusual being, quite brilliant and completely mad," Luna spoke calmly. "I like him. Loony, loony, little lying loony." Luna's eyes widened as the witch conjured a short but razor-sharp knife. "You have lied, Luna, and lying is wrong. You must not tell lies." I'm going to make sure the world always knows what you are. Now hold still, girl. I wonder what to write first. I know, how about freak? Bellatrix brought the knife to Luna's pure skin. Luna, wake up. Harry yelled just as Luna opened her eyes. She took in her surroundings only to see she was sitting beneath the stars as Harry held her tight. Luna buried her face into Harry's shoulders and cried. The same nightmare? Harry asked, feeling Luna nod into his chest. Ever since the Dementors. I keep seeing her, Luna sobbed as Harry tried to comfort her. He didn't need her to finish. He knew what she saw. She's gone, Luna, Harry whispered softly. She's never going to hurt you again. Luna shook her head. As long as the Dark Lord's ideals live on, there will always be people like her, Harry. Luna's ears twitched as she heard the crackle of fire. She quickly sat up to see Nicola's Flamel sitting by a campfire. Wordlessly, he motioned for the two of them to join him by the calming flames. It must have been an hour before the spirit spoke. There is something very calming about fire, the way it draws us towards it. It is what we fear most, yet we cannot help but be soothed by its warmth. As long as there is fire, there will always be people who benefit from its heat. As long as there is fire, there will always be those who suffer and burn. When you play with fire, you get burned, yet that hasn't stopped us. As long as there is free will, there will be always those who choose the path to darkness. As long as there is free will, there will be those who suffer the actions of their own and of others. Yet without free will, life would not be worth living. Free will is what mankind has been fighting for many generations. You fight for the same thing, the freedom to use magic. Despite what many wish to believe, we are not created equal. You wish to gift the world with something that for so long has only been given to a select few. Those in power will not relinquish it lightly. You may not be stealing their magic, but they would lose control of their perfect small world. There is also much to fear. The American Wizards' uprising of 1930 was a disaster. They tried to overthrow the Muggle government, only to be hunted down by trained soldiers with guns. The Wizards were still able to hit the Muggles where it hurt and caused the Great Depression, but they were massacred in the end. Though most wizards still remain ignorant, those in power know the truth. If it came to war against the Muggles, we wouldn't stand a chance. Fear, under its influence, the most noble of us all can tumble and fall. The spirit uttered, his eyes seemingly miles away. I was but a child when the plague came. Maybe 19 is too young to be considered a child, but I was so young back then, so naive. It reached our little village in 1345. It killed everything in its path, Muggles and wizards alike. They of course blamed the other, destroying relations between them. Whether the plague was a terrible curse, unleashed by one of the many dark lords of the time, or a disease that spread through the rats Muggles harbored on their ships remains a mystery. My wife and 2 children became infected by this terrible sickness. I tried everything, but it was no use. Then I heard the whispers of a wizard who had discovered a cure to the terrible curse. Desperate for help, I left to find this man, and eventually I succeeded. I dropped to my knees and kissed his feet as I begged him to cure my family. Flamel's eyes burned with hatred as he stared into the flames. That vile man refused to help my family, my wife, my children. He told me he would only cure them if he was paid handsomely. I would have paid any price, but I was broke. We owned nothing but the roof above our heads and what little food we could get our hands on. Without any means to pay him, the healer turned me away and condemned my family to a slow and painful death. My youngest died first. Then my wife quickly followed. My firstborn was the last to die, and my family was no more. The spirit shed a tear as he turned away from the young magicals. Luna gently placed her hand through Flamel's shoulder, causing the spirit to smile sadly. You know the saddest part of all? I can hardly remember them anymore. It's been so long, so very long, but the pain lives on. As the years went by, I learned to live and love again. 5 years later, I ran into an old friend I had not seen since I attended Beaubaton. A year later, I was married to the love of my life, Perenelle. Another year later, history repeated itself. Ever since my first wife died, I had become obsessed with alchemy. I was desperate to find a solution to the two things that had destroyed my life, poverty and death. When Perenelle fell ill to the Black Plague, I couldn't let it happen again. I poured my heart and soul into my work. I was not only going to save my wife, but I was going to gift the world with wealth and immortality. It seemed like a good idea at the time. I won't go into how I created the Philosopher's Stone, but create it I did. I used its elixir of life to cure my wife and turned all the metal we owned into pure gold. We were beyond rich and we were immortal. I would bless people with my gifts and became a legend among them. I healed the sick and gave my wealth to the poor. At first, I did it only to better the world. I kept my identity hidden as I spread my fortune across Europe. As my notoriety grew, so did my arrogance. My vanity became my undoing as I revealed myself to the people. They built statues in my name. They prayed for me to heal them, and I answered their prayers. They worshipped me, and I began to feel worthy of it. I was more than worthy of it. I was like a god. In my mind, I was a god. I let my ego corrupt me. Then everything went to hell. I don't know when it first started. One day my blessings were no longer enough. The people wanted the stone for their own uses. The rich wanted to become richer. Instead of being saved, people demanded immortality. It was never enough. They just kept wanting more and more. I was ordered to make more of them, but it was not so simple. I could only create one stone, and one stone was all I created. They just would not take no for an answer, and I found myself fleeing for my life. I watched people suffer and die as they killed each other, all fighting to get their hands on my work. Instead of blessing the world, I damned it with another bloody war. I let my heart become polluted by pride. I sold my soul for fame and glory. Worst of all, I nearly lost the one thing I ever truly cared for, my family. My wife and I left the shores of Europe forever. We used the stone to remain wealthy and immortal while we searched for a place to call home. We found that home here in Xanadu. We paid the ultimate price for immortality. I've had many children through the years, but as time went on, none of them wished to live forever. I've lost them all to the passage of time. I so wanted to join them, but I was addicted to the stone. I tried to stop drinking the elixir, but I grew weak and closer to death. With such an easy out, I simply could not refuse the elixir. Death is easy, but dying is hard. I became consumed with the fear of dying. When one has power, what they fear above all is losing that power, which eventually I did. I found myself forced to destroy the stone after Mr. Riddle's attempt to steal it. I could not allow such a weapon into his hands. The next 5 years was torture, knowing that death was coming. It was so finite. The worst day of my life was the day my wife passed on. For the first time in 600 years, I was alone. I followed shortly after, but I made a terrible mistake. You came back, Luna finished as the spirit slowly nodded. Something like that. I was given an escape from death, and in my panic, I took it without question. I became like a ghost. Physically, I died long ago, but my soul shall remain forever. Not a moment goes by that I don't wish I made a different choice. Maybe then I would be reunited with my beloved wife once more. Silence descended upon the island as Luna and Harry unknowingly had the same thought. They would find a way to help the poor spirit, somehow, someday. What happened to the man who refused to cure your family? Luna whispered. Flamel sighed as he floated away. I wasn't the only one he turned away. He made a lot of enemies who held more violent grudges. He was eventually burned at the stake. In hindsight, I doubt he had a cure at all. Either way, we both learned the hard way. When you play with fire, you will burn. Don't make the same mistake I did. Don't let power blind you from right and wrong. When you open your eyes, you might find you're too late. Harry and Luna stayed by the fire for hours as they contemplated the philosopher's words. Soon, Luna felt Harry's head rest against her shoulder as he drifted off to sleep. Luna would have found this amusing, but her thoughts lay elsewhere. She knew sleep would elude her as her eyes remained focused on the burning flames. It may have been days, weeks, even months, as Harry and Luna had lost all semblance of time on Xanadu. One day the spirit interrupted their meditation with a soft yet commanding voice. "It is time." I am sure you are wondering right now why I have been asking you to meditate for so long. The answer is quite simple: to open your mind. Continue your mediation, but I now want you to use the spell, Imaginatio Potestatum. Luna and Harry glanced at each other as they nervously took the other's hand. Closing their eyes, they both spoke the magic words. Nothing happened. Nicholas chuckled. "This is why you mediate. You are to focus on your emotion, on your consciousness and your mind. You must let these things go to see the world for what it really is." "And what is that?" Harry asked with narrow eyes. Nicholas grinned as he waved his hand, gesturing at the paradise around them. "Whatever you want it to be." The spirit slowly reached out, and to Harry and Luna's surprise, held their hands in his own transparent grip. The alchemist stared into their souls as he whispered, "The moment you embrace the impossible is the moment when anything becomes possible." Luna closed her eyes and cried, "Imaginatio Potestatum. I'm afraid I can't tell you exactly what this power is, or it will not work. You must surrender conscious thought and act solely on your instincts." The old man encouraged. Luna's mind raced as she allowed images and words to enter her mind. "It was a spell that showed me just how little we know about magic. To cast the spell, you must not know the spell's intent." "I don't understand," Luna hummed with annoyance. "Good, don't understand it, at least not yet. Imaginatio Potestatum. That's it, let go of yourself and embrace your own delusions." The alchemist crowed. "Sounds and visions, to tell you would be too easy. You humans must learn from your experiences. I discovered something big, Luna, something bigger than even my mission was. I discovered absolute power. The power to help the world, save it, enslave it, destroy it, and I just wanted to help muggles. Imaginatio Potestatum. Defy limitations, refuse expectations, and let your dreams become reality." Flame uttered memories and dreams. "Have you ever even seen a Noggle?" Luna asked. "Nope," Pandora answered, giggling with excitement. "Then how do you know they exist?" Luna inquired further. "I don't," Pandora laughed. Luna felt her mind enter higher states of consciousness. Sound seemed to fade until the deafness drowned it away. A vague feeling of numbness washed over her, while the light that shined through her eyelids vanished, leaving her in darkness. Suddenly, in this surreal moment of conscious unconsciousness, a memory appeared unbidden between her eyes. One of the rarest of creatures imaginable. They look harmless, but despite their vegetarian diet, can be quite vicious when threatened. Let go of your logic, let go of your sanity, and embrace the magic." The dead man cried, his voice breaking into Luna's consciousness. Luna blinked twice. Then it happened. Imaginatio Potestatum. And there it stood before Harry's unbelieving eyes. The creature must have been the size of a small truck. It was covered in red fur with patches of hairless circles which revealed its yellow scales. The creature stared its bulging blue eyes at Harry, who became acutely aware of the green horn on the top of its head. As Luna looked at the creature with reverence, Harry shot a bewildered look to Flame. "How is this possible?" The spirit looked off into the distance. "It is possible because it is. Nothing is truly impossible, Harry Potter." Luna slowly approached the creature as it turned its gaze to her. Luna slowly reached her hand out as the creature lowered a head so large it could swallow the girl whole. Luna's lips gave a small smile as her eyes held an expression of awe and wonder. She slowly petted the creature as her smile grew quickly. "I don't understand." Harry gasped, overwhelmed by the magic he had witnessed. "Nor do you need to," the philosopher uttered. "Whether or not you understand, this has no effect. The answers will appear when your mind is willing to accept and embrace them." Harry carefully approached Luna, whose attention was completely absorbed with the creature. Harry rested his hand in Luna's, who was now beaming at him. Harry couldn't help but match her smile, seeing how happy she was. The creature slowly marched away from the couple as Harry looked on. "That's a crumbled horned snorkack, isn't it?" Luna nodded. "I'm naming him Zeno, after my dad's nickname. I can't wait to tell him. At Harry's lack of response, Luna giggled with mirth. You still can't believe it, can you? I don't know what to believe anymore, Harry muttered wearily. Since I met you, my world has been turned upside down time and time again. The world has no right side up, Harry, Luna hummed with glee. It's only a matter of perspective. Harry grinned as he pulled Luna into a loving embrace. Hand in hand, they silently walked through the paradise of Xanadu, oblivious to the philosopher's presence. Pandora wanted to know what magic was. It was something she never lost. Magic is the eyes of a child when he sees something beyond their comprehension. The feeling you get when you climb the tallest mountain and let your eyes roam to the horizon. The sound of a symphony reaching into your heart and making it sing. The moment you find a kindred spirit to share the rest of your life with. When you say those three words that make you feel pure bliss, and the two words that bind two beating hearts together forevermore. The greatest of magical feats is not a spell or a potion, but the sacred act of creating and nurturing life. When you hold your child in your arms, you will know what magic is. It is the ultimate act of defiance, defying the laws of nature most assumed to be unbreakable. It is the belief that anything is possible, that nothing is impossible but impossibility itself. It is all your hopes and dreams. The moment we lose sight of this is the moment we truly become muggles and squibs. What happened to the wonder and awe of seeing a woman change into a cat, traveling across the country at the speed of light, stepping into a tent to see a palace, flying on broomsticks, beholding a dragon's flame? The extraordinary has become routine and dull. We have lost the drive to improve and evolve, to become better than we ever could be. What we perceive as magic is a mystical power that could bring us to a new stage of humanity. We could reach new heights we never even dreamed of. We could even achieve nirvana. Yet without the wonder of magic, our mystical powers means nothing. We will continue to repeat history, and suffering will always have a home in this world. Luna Lovegood, if you truly wish to bless the world with magic, you must first find the magic within yourself.